In a 6-3 ruling, the court upholds a Texas law requiring pornographic websites to verify whether their users are over the age of 18 by submitting government-issued IDs like a driver's license. Georgia passed a similar law last year. It is scheduled to take effect next week. Atlanta police are searching for a man accused of forcing his way into a woman's apartment, tying her up, and robbing her.
The woman had just gotten back to her apartment on Wells Street, just off Northside Drive, when the suspect pushed his way inside her door. Atlanta police say that's when he tied her hands and ankles with zip ties, then stole jewelry and a camera and fled from the scene. The woman wasn't injured. Police haven't released the value of those stolen items. Investigators are hoping someone from the public will come forward with info on the suspect. They're asking any witnesses to call Atlanta Crime Stoppers. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
A Gwinnett County woman who lost most of her right hand the use of most of her right hand in a shooting 2 years ago wants the state to take action now after charges against the gunman were dropped.
We knocked on the door and was immediately met with gunfire.
The Veranda Chase Apartments neighbor who fired through his door, shooting Jalen Evans Jones in her abdomen and hand, was cleared when the Gwinnett County DA's office ruled it self-defense. Jones calls that outrageous.
Verifying, checking instead of treating us like we were criminals or we did something wrong.
Gwinnett County NAACP President Edward Paul slams the decision.
District attorneys are supposed to protect the people, not belittle them, not ignore them, and certainly not silence them.
They're petitioning Governor Kemp or Attorney General Carr to reopen the case. Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
It's now 3:03. The Von Hessler Doctrine begins in less than 2 minutes. Right now, live team coverage of traffic and weather on this Friday afternoon in the 24-hour traffic center. Alex Williams.
Might have to issue a travel advisory between Kennesaw and Marietta. Crash blocking 2 left lanes, 75 southbound, just past North Marietta Parkway, exit 265. As those delays get worse back through Kennesaw, consider Highway 41 Cobb Parkway as an alternate. Just cleared up a stall from the center lane between Tucker and Clarkston on 285 southbound. The inner loop before Lawrenceville Highway, exit number 38. But it's already going to stay slow for the rest of the afternoon back into Doraville and Dunwoody. 285 southbound, the outer loop on the west side getting a little slower through Smyrna Vinings as you head down to I-20, the West Freeway, and creeping up to almost 25 minutes now on 400 south leaving Lenox Road for the ride downtown to I-20. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz. Scattered showers and storms develop again this afternoon and evening. And where they develop, heavy rain, of course, cloud to ground lightning. But another threat for damaging wind gust and hail. These scattered storms continue into the evening. Will dry out overnight into Saturday morning down to 73. Afternoon storms return again tomorrow. Rain chance 60%, high 91.
Storm Tracker radar shows no rain in the metro area at the moment. 91 in East Point, 90 in Lawrenceville, 89 in Canton. More news at 3:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
These people just make noise and basically waste our time.
Dear members of the media and the public, I welcome you.
Live from the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, and beyond, Hour 1 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. I am your lovable, huggable radio chat host, Eric Von Hessler. The other voices you hear are the Doctrinaires. Man of 1,000 voices, Tim Andrews. Lady of 184.7 characters, Autumn Fisher. The man behind the glass, George Clark. And the handsomest producer in all of producery, Jared Yamamoto.
I'm beginning to think that the president likes breaking news on Fridays and the weekend. He seems to love this now. What is going on?
Big day for the president with the Supreme Court. They're just like handing you everything you wanted, huh?
Well, it is fantastic, and if you don't mind, I'd like to talk about it for about 2 or 3 hours. The judges are undermining our democracy.
You don't like
Supreme
judges.
Court set them back.
Yeah,
Well, it's important. I mean, I got agenda. I got to get done. You got John Thune ruining everything that I'm trying to do.
Well, he's a Republican. He's on your side.
Not a good one. He's a rhino.
Oh, a rhino.
Outside of you, are they not all rhinos?
Well, they're terrible. It's John Thune. He may as well be a Democrat. He's I got an agenda.
Got to go.
Well, he's got to deal with a lot of people. He's got to deal with his own.
The big, beautiful bill transcends all. I want it passed.
Yeah. I think what you want is for everybody to shut up and just do what the hell they're told.
Sounds
is that
good.
really?
Sounds
Is that?
good. I love
think
that.
that's kind of. I'm just gleaning that.
Well, shouldn't everybody do what the president wants?
Wait, but I said do what the president do what you're told.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what you think?
They should all
That's the
do
way.
that.
You won the election, so the
That's
entire
right.
country should just shut up and do what
3
they're told,
times.
right?
I've won the election.
All
3
right,
times.
okay. Let's.
Everybody knows it.
How about you talk for an hour and a half,
No.
not 2 hours?
How about 2?
Yeah. So, what is this thing where you got to come out and talk for 2 hours? Is there something else that can be done?
Well, I mean, that's
some might say you enjoy the sound of your own voice.
That might be the case, but you know what it is? It's really 118 minutes more than the previous guy.
Well, you made it a point to say that earlier today,
Yeah,
too. You
yeah.
were like, oh, did Biden ever do this? And it's like, okay, all right.
Okay,
No,
yeah,
he came out, farted, turned around, and went back anyway, wherever he slept.
And here's the other thing: he's never going to be president again. I don't know why you keep
Well, he never
bringing him
really
up.
was. The
Well,
auto
okay,
pen.
That's right. Well, you won the election.
Auto pen. Neera Tanden, if that's her name, she signed all the bills.
Some people in America feel like by winning an election, we sort of resolve certain debates and we move on to the next thing.
We got to go back and erase all the damage done by the auto pen, the bad auto pen. I have a good real pen. He used a bad auto
You've
pen.
used an auto pen before.
No, not for, for an autograph. Who cares, right?
I don't know. I don't think Biden was the first one to use an auto pen. The question is, really, who was making the decisions surrounding the auto pen? Given the fact that he was asleep most of the day.
Anthony Blinken.
Possibly.
Probably.
Possibly. And we'll have George Stein on. Are we going to have George Stein on later?
Sure are, 5 o'clock.
I'm not in Brazil anymore.
We'll have George Stein on later, and we'll be able to dig into this Supreme Court dump that we've had today.
Yeah, there's so much.
On everything.
The Supreme dump.
Yeah, the Supreme dump that happened today. But let me just say that I think once again, I don't want to come off as an elitist or as if I'm smarter than you. Like we all know, maybe. A lot of times for a lot of people, maybe. But you need to understand that the Supreme Court did not actually rule on the issue of automatic birthright citizenship. They didn't. They ruled on whether a lower court that disagrees with it could have an injunction nationally and say, while we're still working this out at the court level, everything just sort of stays in place and you can't move forward. And, now Trump, so that's really what happened. This is about whether or not you can have a national injunction on an executive order, really. But I just think that most people, when these things happen, they think the Supreme Court ruled on, hey, the Supreme Court said Trump birthright. No, they said that the judge can't stop it while the courts still work it out. That's the reality. I mean, usually this is the truth. The Supreme Court and other courts along the way quite often are talking about process more than the actual issue that you care about. So
they just create a lot of work for themselves in the future. Is what now everything's going to be fast tracked.
Everything's going to be fast tracked up to the Supreme Court because the president is going to want. Now, Trump, in his 7.5-hour press conference after it was a lot to be explained, I guess.
I mean, I made my breakfast, I got in the shower, and he was still
going.
talking. And I'm like, what is this?
Wow, what a great victory this was for our republic.
So Trump is saying, I saw at one point a thing at the bottom of the screen where it's like, these judges, they're trying to, hold back presidents. So we're not, I just want to throw in here, this would be a lot harder if these were laws we're talking about. We are at this point because of a succession of Congresses that don't want the responsibility and a bunch of presidents in a row now who have decided to start governing by executive order, which feels good for the 4 years that you're in there. But the problem with an executive order is it's not a law. It's not a tree. It doesn't have roots. It's ephemeral because if the next president is from the opposite party and they didn't like any of these executive orders in the first week of their presidency, they just turn it around. And not only just sort of delete your executive order, then follow it with an executive order the exact opposite of what your executive order was. Just think of it, laws are like trees. They have branches, they have roots, they go down into the ground. They're more difficult to uproot. Whereas an executive order, all you have to do is lose the next election and whoop, they're gone. A lot of people don't understand this because I know a lot of people from the left, when Trump started talking about, withholding funds, about bathrooms and trans students and stuff under Title IX, And a lot of people are like, well, how can he do that? He said, well, because the reason those things are there is because when Biden got in there by executive order, he started doing these things. So it's all precedent, and it's all happening because we have the most cowardly, have had for the last 30 to 40 years, the most cowardly Congress members in the history of the country who just want free Super Bowl tickets. They don't want to have to piss any of their constituents off by actually having to come down on an issue. So punt it over to the president. Let the president take care of that kind of stuff. I will stay here and be allowed to not piss off any of my constituents. And for the next 2 or 3 Super Bowls, go for free.
Not to mention they make $174,000 a year, too.
Yeah, they could probably
chump change.
It's chump change to these people. They're not there for the money, Jared. They're there for the power.
For sure.
Most of them
Absolutely.
are already rich. They don't need, that's after you have money, there's only one thing left, and that's power. You really think that these super duper lawyers are hanging on for their $175,000? They could go sign up. Just the fact that they were 2 years in Congress, they can go sign up for, just to be on a board of some law office. And, make $500,000 to $1 million a year, probably more than that.
You're right about that. You know that old quote from the movie?
What's the old
First
quote?
you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the women.
Oh, and that's what you're in it for, Lindsey Graham.
I love when the ladies just climb all over me.
We always knew that you were in it for the chicks.
Yeah, I'm a player.
You certainly are.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah, you got it in there somewhere. Yeah, kind
of.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Something along those lines. So if you're on the left and you hate the fact that Trump can do all these things, it's because your side did it. And before your side, the other side did it. And before then, the other side did it. If you want to have a country that's not fully mercurial, always changing, always going from one extreme to the other, then you got to put Congress back in charge. I said the other day that I just went through read the Declaration, the Constitution, and all the amendments. And I am no lawyerologist, but I will tell you this: everyone should do it. It took me about 25 minutes to go through all of that stuff.
TLDR.
I know.
Yeah, sum it up.
Just give me the top 10.
Hey, Grok.
But one thing is sure when you read that. It is not a reflection or any kind of mirror of the country that we live in. The country that we live in is 1,000 miles away from that. And it's not, what it is the founders realized that some things were going to change. And so they kept a little door open here or there. You'll see some language. Except in the case of blah, blah, blah. Well, any loophole that's in there, your politicians have driven 18-wheeler tractor trailers through those loopholes. I mean, the Commerce Clause alone has been stretched silly, to be able to take an unconstitutional thing and then call it constitutional. And then you just get the courts to agree with you and you move on. And so that's why I would say just take a look at these documents. What you're not going to see is a reflection of the country you live in at all. It's Thomas Massey from Kentucky, House member, the only real libertarian, I think, in the House. There might be somebody else I'm not thinking of, but the only real libertarian in the House. When Trump put up that social media post talking about attacking Iran, he just wrote on top of it, "This isn't constitutional." The president responded with a very long post that, I learned a lot of things about this Thomas Massey and what a horrible person he is. Disgusting, apparently, according to Trump. The one thing he never addressed is the actual thing that Thomas Massey said. This is unconstitutional. It's a good long post, a lot of ad hominem attack. I learned that Thomas Massey's probably the worst person who's ever been born in the history of the world. Not one single line about, this would be interesting. Hey, Mr. Massey, it is, and here are my reasons. Didn't get any of that.
That's for the next post.
And now, even though he has a razor-thin margin in the House, and midterm elections are usually pretty bad for the guy in power, he's going to primary Thomas Massey. Thomas Massey, without a doubt, probably the most drain the swamp, not through rhetoric, not through campaign speeches, through actions since 2012, since he's been there. Very consistent. You go find me a Congress member who's been about draining the swamp. Here's the thing, MAGA. If you want to drain the swamp, you know what that's full of? No votes. That's how you drain the swamp. Somebody puts up the, I got a bill that it's always sunny and 72 degrees on every day. And someone like Thomas Massie goes, yeah, we can't afford it. And they vote no. And then you make a commercial. Can you believe Thomas Massie wants it to rain on top of your children every day? And that's what Trump is doing. Now, there's a PAC. They've already got their first commercial.
Yep.
Did you get any of that, of the commercial?
I didn't get any of the commercial because I wasn't sure if you wanted to play it or not. But
well, I don't mind playing it because I think it's in the thing and it's in the story.
Thomas Massie eats children.
No, it might as well be. There's a great part in there because he said that because in the Constitution it says the Congress declares war. So his opinion is that was unconstitutional. In this ad from the Trumps, Thomas Massie is on the side of the Ayatollahs in Iran. I want to talk to the most hard-hearted, I'm in it forever MAGA person. Do you really believe that? Do you really believe that the people of Kentucky have been re-electing since 2012 a House member who has been rooting for the Ayatollahs in Iran over the United States of America? Do you believe that? You want to know something? If you tell me you do, I'm going to tell you you're wrong. You're lying to yourself. Somewhere in the back of your brain, you are aware of the fact that that's not true. Now, if you're with MAGA, let me ask you another thing, because this is about what are you in it for? Did you respond like this? Oh, that's very clever. It'll work. Because if you tell me you believe it, I don't believe you. But I will say to you, no, I think what you think is it's clever and you think that it might work. And at that point, you don't give a damn about the United States of America. You're an operative. What you want is your side to win more. I think it's a bad strategy when you have razor-thin margins in the House going into a midterm election to start eating your own. So I don't think it will work.
Instead of draining the swamp now, Eric, it's about building a swamp resort.
That's right.
Yes.
Well,
with a golf course.
Yeah, that's right, Trump. You're right.
The Israel lobby, AIPAC, I believe, spent $300,000 trying to get rid of this guy the last time around. $300,000 for one House seat. One House seat. And much like what Trump is saying, there shall be no one allowed to disagree. So this is the world we live in now. If you criticize the state of Israel for any of their policies, you're an anti-Semite. And if you disagree with Donald Trump, you're in favor of the Ayatollahs in Iran. If you tell me you believe that, I don't believe you're that dumb, but I do believe you deserve the future that you're helping to create. Because if you want to drain the swamp, you're going to tell me you're starting with Thomas Massie and you're still doing the same thing you said you started so many years ago? That's a lie. That's a lie. Show me another congressperson other than Thomas Massie who has voted to drain the swamp more than Thomas Massie. Now, I would like to see it. I'd like to see the evidence. So they're going after him not for the fact that he's against the agenda of draining the swamp. In America, he spoke up and he disagreed. Oh, is that part of your movement? Is that what you're trying to get rid of as well?
Yeah,
disagreeing is just absolutely wrong. If I disagree with you, dear listener, I must be in favor of the Ayatollahs in Iran.
You're not with us, you're against us.
I'd call you a moron, but I'm looking at the mob and I think you're going to be successful. So I don't want you arresting me. It's ridiculous behavior. It's ridiculous behavior. Every once in a while, the president ought to look at somebody who disagrees with him and say, hey, let's bring him in. What does he have to say? And then if you still disagree, you say, okay, well, we disagree. Maybe we'll agree on something else. But I shall allow you to live. I think Massie will beat it. He's beaten back this, so many, the neocons have decided that he's a danger, and they've been behind everything to try to get him out of there for a long time.
Rand Paul will help too. Rand Paul will help him.
Rand Paul is in the Senate from the same state. So
and they have similar views. So I think
they do have
help.
similar views. I think Massey is a little better. He's more likable, actually. Rand Paul has a personality problem, I think.
Well, he ran into the same problem when he was in the House as well. He would stand up for things like Massey does, and then the Republicans would scream and cry about him.
And then his constituents turned him into a senator.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is about Kentucky, but I will just say this. I haven't voted since 2016. If this guy Thomas Massey ran for president, I would vote for him. Thomas Massey, I'm going to tell you something you don't want to hear, has been much more effective at draining the swamp than Donald Trump, your movement, or anyone else. Now, how effective is it when you're a lone vote? But if you think you can drain the swamp without Congress people who vote no on bills that have otherwise really wonderful names, so it's cheap. It's cheap what they're doing to this guy. We want to drain the swamp, and we're going to start with the guy whose entire career has been about draining the swamp. But his constituents, obviously, I think they'll stick with him, because when you're like that, you usually don't last very long when you're a true libertarian, because it's not hard to just devise a couple of bills that will make your constituents think that their lives would have been better if you would have voted yes. Somebody smart like Thomas Massey knows that's not true, but again, it's the always sunny and 72 degrees bill. You know, why does this guy want it to rain on your children commercials? And so that's what you're in now. MAGA, you're a movement. And it's about winning. It's about gaining more power. It's not about draining the swamp. So the next time we're at a party and you're there and I'm there, no, don't approach me and talk to me about how you're about draining the swamp. Because if you want to get rid of Thomas Massey, fine, good, it's America, go for it. But one thing you can't claim is you can't do that and say I'm trying to drain the swamp at the same time. You don't get rid of, it's like saying you want to clean up the yard and the first thing you do is get rid of the goats. It just doesn't make any sense. They smell. Yeah, okay, they do smell, but they also.
I want you to say that like Dr. Phil. Like I want to hear what you just said, but in a real Southern like.
Can you do it? If you want to clean the yard.
If you want to clean, what is that?
I'll tell you what you don't do if you want to clean the yard.
I'll tell you what you don't do if you want to clean the yard is you get rid of the goats.
No, you don't get rid of the goats.
You don't get rid of the goats.
I think she wants you to slow it down. You don't get rid.
If you don't want to get.
I'm sorry. Listen, I'm sorry.
Hey, Dr. Phil's been very busy with his ice
raids. Yeah.
I'm really high. I've been going out on the ice raids. I don't remember the metaphor. That's why I can't.
Well, the first thing you're going to want to do is not get rid of the goat.
There you go.
That sounded a little more like that actor than Dr.
Rooker?
Michael Rooker.
Yeah.
Hey, don't get rid of the goats. You want to clean yard? Come on, man.
So it's okay. It's America. Do what you want. I applaud you. If you want to get rid of Thomas Massey, you're not allowed to say you're for draining the swamp afterward, however. That's the Von Haessler rule. You're about, we need more power. This president needs more power. Okay, that's what you want because you think that'll be the best for America. But that's what you have to say. What I don't have ears for is that Thomas Massey is in favor of the Ayatollahs in Iran. You know that's a lie. You know that's a lie.
I'd be curious when you look at the most competitive House races going in this next election cycle, where a Republican could potentially snag a Democrat seat.
Right.
I would love to see the numbers breakdown between the competitive Democrat versus Republican seats compared to how much this PAC is paying to try to knock out Thomas Massey.
Yeah, it's the thing is,
that's money wasted if they're trying to knock out Thomas Massey's a Republican.
Trump is joining forces with the swamp to get rid of the person they've been wanting to get rid of for over a decade because he does nothing but try to drain the swamp. Eric Von Haessler just told you the truth. Can you handle it? I wonder.
Can you dig it?
Can you dig it, man? Hey, man. I just laid some far out stuff on you, man. Can you dig it?
Yeah.
Keep on trucking.
That's right.
Is there any other ones ever? Groovy.
That's groovy, man. You just laid a stone groove on me.
That's right, man.
Stone cold knowledge.
So
man.
it's okay for you to want to get rid of Thomas Massey. It's not okay for you to lie to yourself and me that you're getting rid of him because you want to drain the swamp. That doesn't make sense. You might as well walk up to me and say, Eric, 2 + 2 = 5. That's how I'm going to receive that. And I'm just telling you, there's nothing wrong. You're an American. You can want to get rid of anybody you want, but you have to tell me the truth. I want my President Trump to have more power. That's the most important thing to me, and I will respect you because you told me the truth.
Listen up, because women have long waited for the world to recognize the importance of our health.
Northside Hospital goes beyond "we hear you" to "we're out here with you," because women deserve more than open ears.
They deserve open doors, and 1 ounce of action is worth 1,000 words.
Northside is rolling up our sleeves and getting to work for you.
This is a house call. Heard. Learn more at northside.com/heard.
You know, I've had listeners, coworkers, friends come up and ask me, hey, Aram, what makes Advanced Hair Restoration different? Well, allow me to share, along with some details on, get this, their once-a-year summer savings event. First off, Advanced Hair stands by the results, and their before and afters are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge-quality experience that's hard to find elsewhere. Finally, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. Quick, simple, and easy. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for the savings special opportunity, it's here, friends. Advanced Hair Summer Savings Event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details and to schedule your free consultation, call 770-660-HAIR. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair guaranteed to grow. 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
When someone's AC is on the fritz, drains are clogged, or wall outlets are sparking, Castile Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical never asks, how soon do you need it fixed? You know why? Because no one in recorded history has ever said, oh, take your time, just whenever you can get to it. We just assume, how fast can you get here will always be the answer. So Castile will be there same day, and we won't leave until you're 100% satisfied. See? Sometimes it's good to assume. It gets your AC fixed fast. Book today at CastileAir.com.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
It's officially time for Zerorez's annual summer sale. Take advantage and get 15% off all cleaning services. Mention Chris Chandler to secure this deal today or book online at ZerorezAtlanta.com. Zerorez. All they leave is clean.
This is Jonathan Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, Atlanta's engagement ring and wedding band destination since 1939. Why? Hand-picked diamonds that just shine brighter at a value that can't be beat. An unbelievable selection of engagement rings and wedding bands, and because we've been jewelers for generations, we can bring your dream ring to life with full custom abilities. So when it's time for the next chapter, come see Atlanta's most trusted jeweler since 1939, D. Geller & Son, in Kennesaw and Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 3:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by Vincent Financial. Our top story, the Supreme Court gives President Trump a big win on executive power.
The Supreme Court has delivered a monumental victory for the Constitution, the separation of powers, and the rule of law.
The court's ruling limits the ability of district judges to issue nationwide injunctions related to the president's executive order to end birthright citizenship. Legal analyst Lori Levinson says this ruling leaves a lot of parents and children of migrants in limbo.
And we'll have to see how much havoc is caused by this decision as the challengers put together class actions and other efforts to block the Trump executive order.
The Supreme Court's ruling does not specifically address the issue of birthright citizenship. President Trump says he's ending all trade talks with Canada. CBS's Aaron Navarro reports it comes with less than 2 weeks until the deadline for reciprocal tariffs to be imposed.
There is that July 9th deadline for the president's quote reciprocal tariff plan, for those tariffs to potentially be implemented, for countries to make trading deals with the United States. And it seems like Canada will be the first one to get that letter from the president where they just say, this is your tariff rate now.
President Trump calls Canada a very difficult country to trade with. Nearly 2 years since she was shot after asking a neighbor to turn down his loud music, Jalen Evans Jones is asking the state to reopen the Gwinnett County investigation. All charges were dropped against the shooter who opened fire when Jones knocked on his door.
To just let it go like that and not even do the least bit is a travesty, not only to me, but to the community.
The district attorney's office dismissed the charges against the man, ruling it self-defense. A Gwinnett County man is sentenced to life with no chance of parole for a deadly shooting outside a Lithonia sports bar. A DeKalb County jury finds 39-year-old Henry Maurice Anderson guilty of murder. 34-year-old Caesar Abernathy was shot and killed in April of last year outside the bar on Evans Mill Road. It is now 3:32, and it's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather on this Friday afternoon. Let's get an update from the traffic center and Alex Williams.
Getting busy on the northeast side of town, Bill. We just had all lanes blocked and reopened. 85 northbound near Pleasantdale Road, exit 96. Crash moved all to the right there, but you're stacked in from Chamblee Tucker. Now we have a new crash in Swanee northbound. 85 northbound, Highway 317, Lawrenceville, Swanee Road, exit 111. HOT lane blocked there. And got us on the travel advisory and throw up the yellow flag for the southbound commute through Duluth. Crash 85 southbound past Pleasant Hill Road, exit 104. That knocks out 3 left lanes. Go ahead and think about Satellite Boulevard as your alternate there. Had a crash in Marietta, 75 southbound at North Marietta Parkway, exit 265. They moved that crash off to the right, but it's already adding to the brake lights that were already in place back into Ackworth. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Vitz. Headed to 92 with scattered storms developing this afternoon and evening. A few of those could be strong to severe with gusty winds, damaging winds, and hail possible. Will dry up overnight. Saturday starts dry, then afternoon storms again, high 91. Afternoon storms and back to the low 90s on Sunday.
And storm tracker radar starting to get busy now. We're seeing a little rain right now up in Bartow County, also in Paulding County at this hour, and Coweta County seeing a shower. 88 in Woodstock, 92 in Loganville, 88 in Lovejoy. More news at 4 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Moving is supposed to be exciting, but let's be honest, it usually turns into a juggling act. Sell one house, buy another, try not to lose your mind. That's where Orchard comes in. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler. Orchard flips the process. Instead of waiting for your current home to sell, Orchard gives you cash up front so you can buy your next place first, settle in, and breathe a little. While you're unpacking, Orchard is busy getting your old home ready, handling repairs, staging, even upgrades to help it sell for top dollar. And when it does, you get that extra cash too. So yeah, one payday when you buy, another when you sell. It's not magic, it's just smart real estate. No stress, no awkward timing, no crashing in your aunt's guest room for a month. Start with a free home valuation at Orchard.com. 2 paydays, 1 move, 0 chaos. That's Orchard.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Shut up, Jared. We're back.
No, it's
apparently.
That's what
it's
happens,
a new
man.
planet? But how is it news if it's not in our solar system? We know there's millions and trillions and billions and
Yeah, but
planets
this one's
out
new.
there.
This one's a
What's
new
not
planet.
What's not new? It's just I don't get it. I don't understand.
Well, let's listen to the package. I
Is
heard
there-
it this
wait,
morning.
Is there a new planet package?
There sure
A
is.
news package?
New planet says you're a planet, and here's the package.
It's 110 light years from Earth and orbits a star known as TWA-7. It's
That's a
the
good
first
one.
planet to be spotted by the James Webb Space Telescope since its launch 4 years ago.
It is 10 times lighter than the planets that have been imaged so far.
Anne-Marie Lagrange at the French National Center for Scientific Research says the planet is young,
Oui,
about
oui.
6 million years old,
Ah,
with a
the
surface
youngster.
temperature of 120
Toddler.
degrees. She's hopeful James Webb is just getting started.
We could still be able to detect even lighter planets.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
I like those light planets.
Me
They'll
too.
fill you up.
They are
Right.
they are all on Monjaro.
Yes.
They are all on a GLP-1.
Yeah. What?
They are all.
Uh-huh.
You tell me you understand, okay?
Okay.
They
They.
are. Are.
Ow. Ow.
Owl?
Owl?
They are.
Jared saw an
all-
owl.
They are all.
They are owls. They
No,
owls.
no.
They owls.
They.
Uh-huh.
They are all
They are all.
on
Un.
GLP-1.
A
GL.
GL. P1.
Trizepatide, semaglutide, Monjaro.
She keeps going on about that mounted horse.
What's
What's with the mounted horse?
Get it.
They're very light.
Oh, they're bouncy. They're bouncy
lose
planets.
weight. They are not heavy like the
I think
Americans.
they're
They
light.
won't-
Do they just fly away? Like,
gas, they're made of gas.
Okay, I understand.
Not heavy metal.
Evie who?
Heavy metal.
Used to do traffic, right? Evie
I'm
Metal.
heavy metal.
Eddie metal.
Heavy.
Well, it was Eddie Metal when he worked for the rock station.
Yeah, that's right.
Eddie.
It's short for Evan.
All right. Well, I guess all the other
Whatever.
planets. So we not. It's not. Is it seeing it, or is it one of these things where it transits its sun and we know there's movement and like that's the Hubble way, right?
That's how I'm understanding it. And I guess Hubble.
You know what? I've just decided I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Hubble couldn't.
It's 110 million light years
Wanna
away.
get Travis on the phone?
No.
Get Travis on the horn?
No, I have a lot of
we could
respect.
do a whole segment.
Have a
Let's
lot of
do it.
respect for your ex-husband, but he can be a
Why?
little dry on these
Oh, yeah.
things.
He's pretty boring.
He's pretty. Yeah. Well, hey, look, this is the
Hey.
father of your children. This could be in a
He's
time
more-
capsule
The thing
one
that
day.
sucks is
Oh, no.
you
I don't-
ask him about
Oh, boy.
something.
Okay.
You ask him.
Yeah,
No.
okay.
Is that he would never take the no. No, that you ask him about something like that's in pop culture astronomy,
Uh-huh.
and he doesn't know a whole lot about it. He knows as much as like I would know if I read 3 articles about it.
Right. He knows all. He's all book smart.
Yeah, he
He's
knows
all-
about. Listen, if you want to ask him about a very specific black hole and
Yeah.
its accretion disk and its angle and its like spectra or whatever, then
Pull up
yeah.
a chair. He's gonna know all about it.
Pull up a bed and get ready to sleep. before him.
We should do lectures so people could fall asleep.
But oh yeah, that's a new thing. I see that a lot on YouTube. It's like
Oh, my daughter
Boring
listens to them.
history. Fall asleep to
Yeah,
this boring.
fall asleep to boring
Boring
history.
history.
Yeah.
Is your daughter doing that?
No, she listens to like things to fall asleep to though. Like
Yeah.
one of them that I found on my YouTube history last night was you're in a Minecraft house, and so the Minecraft music is playing behind you,
Mhm.
and there are like furnaces that are going, so you hear the crackling of a fire, and
Yeah.
then there are like Minecraft cats and kittens inside of the house, and
It's like
so
the way
she
that I
just
use
listened
a
to that, go to
thunderstorm.
bed.
I use a thunderstorm because of my tinnitus. But why should how old's your kid? 11?
How old's my kid? 11?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was my question. Is it 11?
11.
How old's
Is it
your kid?
11? Why? I
11.
can't. I why do 11-year-olds need things to fall asleep? It's like, aren't
She
you
doesn't need, she just likes it.
Oh,
And she
yeah, it's
has,
comfy.
You
It's
know,
comfy.
her mind goes.
Yeah.
I went to sleep to Larry King.
So did he.
Yes.
A couple times. I listened back in those days. What do you listen to?
Yeah,
old
Pete
Larry
can
King?
fall asleep
No.
in like 2
When
seconds.
I was 11, I
Yeah.
listened to Larry King or Jim Bohannon. to
Oh,
fall asleep.
overnight?
Yeah.
I think there's certain brains that need like
Well, I
a
do that.
sound to help to help relax you.
Yeah, I think so, but I do it because of the tinnitus, but maybe it helps in the other stuff as well. Because I'm always stressed out about this world, because I'm so much smarter than everybody,
Oh,
and I
boy.
could fix everything, but they're not going to let me, and so I'm just stressed out that the people will not use this great resource known as Eric Von Haessler to solve all the problems.
It's to be so great.
Yeah,
It's
heavy.
not all it's cracked up to be.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown. So it really is true. And so sometimes I'll have to have a crackling fire going, or Neil Diamond singing "Crackling Rosie." Something. I need
How
something
could you
crackling.
fall asleep to that?
Crackling Rosie.
Lord.
We gonna something till we something, then we something and something more.
Well, at least the idea of
Wait,
us-
I'm not dumb. We're doing something more.
Oh, I love my Rosie child. You got the way to make me happy.
Is he still with us, Neil Diamond? I know he's been sick for a while, but is he?
I think he's
with
still
us?
alive.
Okay, good.
Not
Store-bought
performing.
woman.
You make me hum. No, you make
Sing.
me sing like a guitar humming.
Hang on to me, girl, a song keeps rolling on.
Why should a girl hang on to you? Because you're a man, you misogynist?
Play it now, play it now, play it now, my baby.
Why baby? Why baby? Because she's a child in your eyes? I'm blowing the lid off of
different
this
time.
Neil. Oh, it was a different time.
Yeah.
Hey, you're really bumming out this Neil Diamond jam we're trying to do.
Well, yeah, well, don't
By
give me
giving
s-
us terrible. You're really what was it yesterday? You were like,
Oh, I'm the
bothering
cold
people
water.
with
I'm the
facts,
I
yeah.
throw cold water on the things that you really believe in. Hey, don't get me started on Sweet Caroline, which is maybe the creepiest song ever written.
It's a very creepy song.
Why is it creepy?
Because
How old is she?
Because he wrote it to the daughter of JFK after
Oh, well, it's a
she
lo-
was like 12 or something.
Yeah,
Just talking about how
Caroline
sweet she
Kennedy.
is.
So it's the whole thing about hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. You don't write songs to a 12-year-old girl.
That's a
that have
metaphor
those-
for the country.
that. Tell it to
across
the judge.
the aisle, hands.
Tell it to the judge.
What about Forever in Blue Jeans?
Just a dumb song.
Forever
What's
in
that
Blue
one?
Jeans.
What about Young Girl?
I like. That's not him.
That's Gary Puckett.
Yeah, I know, but still, I'm saying that's a creepy song.
Yeah, well, it's not.
He's
because
fighting the urges.
He's not fighting the urges. In that song, he was duped and he fell for her, thinking that she was of age, and now he's saying, "Get out of my mind." You know, this
It's not her fault that
she duped
he
him.
was
He
duped.
asked to see. She gave him a fake ID.
Yeah, she had
It
a
was
fake.
not in the song.
No, well, that's
Well.
it's like the Star Spangled Banner. There's like 13 other verses that you don't know about.
Oh, they're all-
and inside of there.
I wish we did the whole thing, by the way, at sporting events. The whole thing.
Oh,
All
really?
13 verses.
Oh,
Young
really?
girl.
Young Girl.
I mean, he even
Young girl,
he
let
s-
me see your ID.
He says, "My love for you is way out of line. You're too young, girl." He's telling her to
Yeah,
go
and he
away.
also says your perfume and makeup.
That's when he thought
He
she
says,
was.
"Put it
held
away."
The secret
He said, "Put it
to
away."
Put away.
He said, "Put away. Put it away." He's saying he's trying.
Get out of here.
He was
before I
duped.
have the time
He was
to
duped.
change my mind.
See, yeah, there you go.
Her mother.
Cause I'm afraid
Her
we'll
mother
go
tried
too
to.
far.
Her mother said, "Get close to this guy. He's a rock star." And they lied about her age. Gary
Isn't there
Puckett.
another song that he wrote that's also about like a young girl?
Why don't you ask AI? Why don't you ask your little Marlo?
No, there's another one.
Well, listen. There were
He had
songs.
a couple of hits.
I mean, Ringo Starr. It was a.
You're 16. You're
You're
beautiful.
and you're mine.
Is it Night
Now
Moves?
he was only in his mid-30s then.
Well, what
so-
about Jerry Seinfeld?
Well, that
He
was
had
a real life.
16-year-old girlfriend.
That
who
was a
in his
real
30s.
life. That was a real life thing.
Yeah.
That's not a song.
Isn't it weird that she's only 16?
Well, she doesn't look it.
She loved Pop Tarts.
Yeah.
Superhero.
She gave me the idea for the Pop-Tart movie. I had to wait 40 years to make it.
Now, did they ever? Are they married now?
No.
Or did they just were together for? I remember when that scandal hit in the '90s. A little
Yeah.
bit. Was
No,
it the
he-
'90s?
Yeah, it was the early 90s.
Yeah.
She's very mature for her age.
But now Bill Belichick, nobody cares.
Well, she's in her
Nobody
20s, though.
She's in her 20s, but he's 150 years older than she is. So you're right. There is a legal
Yeah,
issue there.
it's legal. It's okay.
It
And she's the offensive coordinator.
So what we've learned
We're not
here
gonna
today
talk
is
about that.
simply being legal
Guys,
doesn't make it not
part of
creepy.
this.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No.
What's her
not
name
talking-
again?
Jordan Hudson.
Tori Amos or something? What's
Tori
her name?
Amos?
Oh,
No,
that's a
name
singer.
everyone Lauren
She
Sanders.
rides.
room.
Tori-
His points at me.
Tori Amos rides on her piano bench.
He's too old
Silence of these years.
All right.
Jordan Hudson is
That's
her
her name, Jordan Hudson.
Yeah, we're not talking about it.
Yeah.
Got the football season coming up.
Yeah.
We're talking about football.
I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna be a bust there.
Yeah.
I know it's your dad's alma mater, and
Yeah, Dad's excited about it. Mom went there. Grandparents went there. They're excited.
I think it's gonna be a bust. I don't think he'll be there for more than 1 year. And
Billy B's gonna bang his chest over there.
I think there's gonna be a thing. I think they're gonna be losing. I think there's gonna be a thing where Jordan Hudson's on the sideline during a game, and they're gonna be losing, and people are gonna be like, "What is going on here?"
Headset on or no headset?
She's gonna have a headset. Now, whether there's anything it might be like when you give your toddler like a fake steering wheel. It might be like that. I don't know if there's coming through it, but I think she will have a headset.
When news breaks in Georgia, NASA confirms the bright fireball spotted in the sky was indeed a meteorite across the U.S.
The court just ruled parents can opt their kids out of LGBTQ-themed instruction.
and around the world.
The president says he thinks Iran is done trying to create a nuclear weapon.
We've got it covered.
He saw a hole in the ceiling, and he looked on the floor and saw some debris.
It made it so that the executive has more power than it did before.
They blew these places up in a major league way.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
The cost of mesothelioma treatments can exceed $400,000, and families often face losing their homes and life savings just to pay the bill. The Rights and Claims Department of Flint Cooper has helped victims secure financial support they need to pay for their care and ensure their family's future. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma and don't have legal representation, call Flint Cooper now at 800-606-8169. Time is running out for you to file a claim, so don't wait. Call 800-606-8169 for a free consultation.
Hey everyone, it's your buddy Shelley Winter here. Join me this Saturday at noon for the Car Guys with Kevin Deutsch from Butler Lexus of South Atlanta. Buy or lease, fix or sell, everything you want to know about cars, we will cover Saturday noon to 1 right here on 95.5 WSB.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Summer's a time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or your tan. Hey guys, it's Mark Aram here. I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once-yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. There's absolutely no one in hair restoration I trust more than Advanced Hair. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event on for a limited time, so get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 470-660-HAIR. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and take advantage of their best offer ever. That's 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com. 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Oh, yeah.
Crack and Rose, get on board.
All right.
Shiloh.
I like Neil Diamond on Bang Records.
Yeah.
That's where, that's to me, that's the whole. And there used to be a CD available. I don't know. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not on streaming. But if you can find Neil Diamond, Bang Records, and then they extended it out to where you had some of the bigger songs, but just those cool songs he was writing, like in the mid '60s, early '70s, great stuff. He got a little Elvis.
He was the
Somewhere around-
Jewish Elvis.
Yeah, somewhere around Hot August Nights. He got
the shirt open.
So he got,
Yeah.
got a little Elvis in Vegas thing going.
Suleiman.
I like the '60s Neil Diamond, but that's.
What about Love on the Rocks? Ain't no big surprise.
That's how I was gone. I was
You
gone.
don't
at that
celebrate
point.
his whole catalog.
No, I do not celebrate his whole catalog.
He put out 2 really cool albums
Bang.
in the 2000s, too.
Yeah, okay. What, the ones that Rick Rubin produced?
I think so, yeah.
Artists evolve. They change.
Yeah, and sometimes for the worse.
Not the real Elvis. He just got bigger.
You know what? He just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Until he exploded. It's unfortunate. Went to that dentist at 2:30 or 2:30.
I don't know that joke.
Next thing you know, he died.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know Elvis went to the dentist
The night before he died?
at 2:30.
Oh.
Well, but he really did.
What kind of dentist was it?
It was 2:30 in the morning. He had like a dental thing, and he was Elvis. So some dentist got awakened. Yeah.
Hey, man, I need to come over here and drill my tooth.
And I don't know, was that like a drug run? I don't know.
It sure sounds like it. Because you know those dentists are going to have the good drugs.
They're going to have the good.
Should have got some X-Lax, and he'd still have lived.
Something like that. He was a little constipated.
Yeah.
But my feeling, and this is my my speculation, and it's very general, but I think that what happened with Elvis Presley, and you got to be careful about this. You got to make sure your drugs go in the same direction. I think that he was so dependent on like drugs to wake up, drugs to maintain, drugs to go to sleep, then drugs to wake up. I think at one point he ended up with that when he's sitting on the John there. I think that 2 different drugs, one that was trying to wake him up and one that was trying to put him to sleep, and like his heart just tapped out. Yeah. I don't understand this. I don't know what's going on here. Whatever. We're done. So the lesson from Elvis Presley is make sure all your drugs go in the same direction, but not too far.
Or if that you're at the correct weight for your body to go in all those different directions.
And don't let a creepy Austrian man run your career.
Well, he did get him to the top.
Yeah, then he wouldn't let him
ever
go.
since that movie.
He never traveled abroad, though.
Yeah, because it turns out he didn't have a passport because he was like, I don't know, he's been convicted of something back in Austria.
Well, Elvis could have gone without him.
Well, no, because he was
Elvis,
always
you can't go.
He was afraid that anytime if Elvis was without him, he might find out there were better managers out there. So he already had. I'll take care of this, Elvis. You don't want to talk to these people. I'll take care of this. Yeah, he was like a carnival barker. I haven't seen the movie, the latest
documentary.
movie.
Yeah, you should. Or
It's not a documentary.
Excuse me, not documentary. Yeah, it's a movie.
The one where Tom Hanks talks like Colonel.
Hello, Elvis. I am your manager, Colonel Tom Parker.
I don't think Colonel Tom ever spoke like that. I don't know. I don't remember hearing his voice. But these movies can be very persuasive. My wife watched that movie, and she enjoyed it. And she said, I hate Colonel Tom Parker. I said, you realize that is just a depiction in a movie. You don't know the person. You can't. Yeah, and she'll always say something like, "Yeah, but he was pretty bad."
The
And I'm like,
director portrayed
in
him
that
this way. Yeah.
Movie, who knows? Maybe Elvis would have died 5 years earlier without Colonel Tom Parker. I don't know. He didn't seem to do anything about his drug problems.
I don't know. From 1977 in August, my mom cried every day for like a month.
Yeah, well, it was a sad thing when
Yeah.
he went. I was living down south at that time. We had moved from Memphis. That's right. You've tuned into Memories of the King. That's the way this show works. We just bounce off one way, off into another. Should I watch that movie? I hear that the actor.
Yeah, you should.
I hear the actor who played Elvis. He won't stop talking like Elvis now. Or there was a period of time where he couldn't shake it. He was method.
It took him a while. Yeah.
What's that guy's name?
Austin Butler.
Yeah. What else is he in?
He's in The Dune too. He was the bald guy.
He plays Tex Watson in.
The tall bald guy. That was him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He plays Tex Watson in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
All right. So he's been around.
You haven't seen that though.
No, I haven't. Although I should see it because I hear there's only one gross scene.
It's getting a sequel that's going to be directed by David Fincher. Which is kind of weird.
Yeah, it's just about
Is
Brad
he going to get
Pitt's
back on
character.
his game? Is Fincher going to get back on his game?
I don't think he's ever been off of it. You didn't like the sniper one?
I did. I liked it, but come on, it wasn't great. It was merely good.
No, I agree with you. Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah,
like
it was
his
all
other
right.
stuff.
It was all right.
Supposedly, Social Network's getting a sequel too.
Oh, why is this about Zuckerberg's building a big fortress in Hawaii? Is that what
my
this is gonna be about?
Hawaiian house?
Aaron
Get it.
Sorkin to direct.
Oh boy,
Get an accurate
Did he direct the
interpretation.
first?
He wrote the first one.
Okay.
Fincher directed.
Why do we need why now it's time
It's
for
just
messaging
another
and
movie.
politics and
It's just another movie that is already a movie, so that people will say, "Hey, I'm familiar with that, so I'll go see it." I guess.
well, there's that element, but I also feel like there's a lot of people attached to that movie that feel like they weren't hard enough on him because they don't like the person Mark Zuckerberg has turned out to be. So I think this one is going to be like, all right, let's get political and tell you why this guy's dangerous. That's what I think is going to happen here. Aaron Sorkin.
I thought that movie was like.
I thought it was
top
perfect.
10.
No, that's a great movie.
Yeah.
It was, but I saw what's his face who played Zuckerberg.
Jesse
The other day said,
Eisenberg.
well, now I know what I know. I don't like being associated with it. Do you understand what acting is? Do you understand that there are people who play Hitler? There are people who play Genghis Khan. Do you understand what acting is?
With suspicious minds.
Summer is peak hosting season, right? Don't let a grimy house keep you from having company over. It's Chris Chandler, and Wise Guys Pro Wash got my place clean and bright and guest ready in just one day. They handled everything, house and deck, driveway, even my dirty roof, and their soft wash kept everything safe. No paint peel, no damage, just clean. If you got people coming over this summer, be sure Wise Guys Pro Wash comes by first. Mention me, Chris Chandler, for $70 off at wiseguysprowash.com. Book now before they fill up.
WSB Atlanta, WSB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is heating up outdoors and summer fun is just getting started. And you know what? I bet it'll get warmer before it gets cooler. And you know the best part about hot weather is walking into a cool, comfortable house. Dave Baker here for Coolray Heating and Cooling, Plumbing and Electrical. Don't let AC problems ruin your summer. Let Coolray tune up your air conditioner now. Ooh, are you thinking about a new, more efficient HVAC system? Coolray is offering up to $2,250 in rebates and free installation with the purchase of a complete home carrier system. And don't forget, Coolray is your one-stop shop when it comes to plumbing and electrical service too. Brightbox Electrical and Mr. Plumber are both Coolray companies, so they've got all your electrical, plumbing, and HVAC needs covered. Ready to stay cool for the summer? Visit Coolray.com to book your appointment today. It's easy. No phone calls, no waiting on hold. Book the time and day that works best for you. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
The Guaranteed Offer from Mark Spain Real Estate's the easiest way to sell your home. You can save time, make the most money, and eliminate the hassle this summer. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home and skip the hassle of constant cleaning and costly repairs. There's no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Our guaranteed offer keeps you in control. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
This is Scott Slade, and nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. That's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging's LDCT body scan can be invaluable, giving you more time for you and your loved ones to take charge of your health. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. Due to overwhelming demand for a limited time, their $995 core body scan offer has been extended. It's a $2,495 value. Early detection saves lives, and now it's more affordable than ever. Virtual Imaging has gotten such great response to this offer that they've opened up more times in both offices, but appointments will fill up fast, so don't wait. Some minimum requirements may apply. Early detection is your best protection. To schedule your virtual imaging $995 core body scan, call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 4 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News is sponsored by Hoffman Financial Group. Our top story, President Trump calls it a win for America.
The Supreme Court has delivered a monumental victory for the
Constitution, the separation of powers, and the rule of law.
In a case involving the issue of birthright citizenship, the Supreme Court rules 6-3 today. Individual judges do not have the authority to grant nationwide injunctions. However, the ruling did not specifically decide the fate of the president's executive order. However, a local group believes today's ruling is a green light for the Trump administration to end birthright citizenship.
Local immigration advocates like Jerry Gonzalez, head of the Galeo Impact Fund, are sounding the alarm about the future of birthright citizenship.
Unfortunately, the Supreme Court has bended the knee to support the Trump regime in this unconstitutional act of going after newborn babies.
He says the court's ruling could lead to chaos around the country and leaves the door open for the administration to move ahead with ending birthright citizenship, something previous courts have ruled is enshrined in the 14th Amendment. Trump called the rulings a giant win. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
88 degrees in Atlanta, and we are now starting to see some showers and storms developing, including one just to the southwest of Atlanta. Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. In what the president calls a victory for parents, the Supreme Court today rules a Maryland school board violated the religious rights of parents by not letting their kids opt out of lessons involving LGBTQ-themed books. That ruling will impact schools across the country. In a ruling that has a direct impact on Georgia, the Supreme Court allows states to require age verification for porn sites.
The court upheld a Texas online age verification law for adult websites, saying that it is permissible under the First Amendment for states to require individuals to upload a copy of their ID in order to see porn.
Georgia passed a similar law last year. It's scheduled to take effect next week. Atlanta police investigate a scary home invasion where a man ties up a woman and steals her jewelry.
The woman was returning home to her apartment on Wells Street near Northside Drive when a masked man barged into her apartment. The Atlanta Police Department says he used zip ties to tie her hands and ankles, then proceeded to steal her jewelry and a camera. He fled from the scene, and police are continuing to search for him. They're asking anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers. The victim wasn't injured, and police haven't released an estimated value for the stolen items. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
A Gwinnett County woman who was shot when she asked a neighbor to turn down his loud music seeks justice after the man's charges were dropped.
Unable to button her pants, fasten her bra, tie her shoes. Shot in the abdomen and hand by her Veranda Chase Apartments neighbor when she knocked on his door. Jalen Evans Jones calls the last 2 years overwhelmingly difficult.
It makes me want to give up, and I don't want to give up because I have fight in me.
Gwinnett County's DA said the man had acted in self-defense, but Jones disagrees, saying no words were ever exchanged.
I never knew that neighbor. I never met him, never saw him with my eyes.
She calls on the governor and attorney general to reopen the case. Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
2 illegal immigrants are charged with assaulting and resisting federal law enforcement officers in North Georgia. Ricardo Trejo Martinez was pulled over by a deportation officer in Commerce.
The driver of the vehicle that he stopped shoved him into the roadway.
U.S. Attorney Theodore Hertzberg says in a separate incident, Hector Beltran Ledesma is accused of resisting arrest after he was seen leaving his home in Roswell. Both men are now in federal custody. A man is shocked while working on a job site in Atlanta.
Our crews responded to the 500 block of Lindsay Street Northwest, where a worker was electrocuted on a 35-foot scaffold.
Atlanta Fire Rescue spokesman Honore Holmes says it happened at a 3-story mixed-use facility that's now under construction. The scaffold accidentally came in contact with power lines. The man is alert and breathing. When he's taken to the hospital, he has 3rd-degree burns. It is now 4:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple team traffic now with Alex Williams.
Hey, Bill, we're watching a few trouble spots up I-85 as you leave DeKalb up in Norcross and Swanee. Crash in the right lane, 85 northbound, Pleasantdale Road, exit 96, slowing the ride from Chamblee Tucker. Also putting more pressure on 285 east and north, the inner and outer loop, trying to ramp onto 85 north. Once you get past that, brake lights find you again, heading towards Swanee from Sugarloaf Parkway. About to clear up a crash out of the HOV lane at Highway 317, exit number 111. 75 north and southbound, been slow all afternoon through Marietta, Kennesaw, and Ackworth, and that continues in both directions with all volume there. And checking on possible new trouble, 285 westbound, the outer loop at Ashford Dunwoody Road, left lane stall in Sandy Springs, 285 eastbound, the inner loop at Riverside Drive. What's it look like through downtown, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, 75-85 northbound, seeing rides begin to get slow at Langford Parkway, getting to Peachtree Pine Street, and southbound rides, heavy brake lights beginning before the downtown merge. getting to I-20. From the Corey Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Scattered showers and storms into the evening. Locally heavy rain and gusty winds. That'll dry up overnight, headed to 72 Saturday morning. Partly cloudy with scattered storms again Saturday afternoon and evening. And afternoon storms Sunday, high 91. I'm Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz, 95.5 WSB.
As we check out Storm Tracker radar, there's some heavy rain falling right now just to the southwest of Atlanta. Also some heavy rain in Bartow County at this hour. 89 in Fayetteville, 88 in Alpharetta, 89 in Douglasville. More news at 4:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 2 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. I just saw more footage of D-bags in Venice. Did I see Tom Brady? Was he in there too?
Would not surprise me.
Yeah, I saw him.
Oh, by the way,
They're all D-bags.
Breaking news. Page 6 is reporting this. They're already married.
Yeah, that's
so it's just a party.
Yeah, it's just a party. Yeah, they're already married. Yeah,
ridiculous.
It doesn't surprise me because I would imagine the prenup is 7 miles long.
I'm sure.
Yeah, he already gave up half to the first wife.
Yeah. And we've brought this up before, but I do think it's stunning that when they got divorced, his wife Mackenzie, who by the way looks like an actual human.
Well, she's already divorced again, though.
Yeah,
so maybe she was a problem.
She tried to do a thing like, I'm a multi-billionaire, but I'll marry a shop teacher or something, and that just didn't work out.
And he didn't get any of that money.
Yeah.
He might have got a little pay.
Yeah, I'm sure I got a little shut your mouth money.
Yeah.
That's about it. But when they divorced and she got half his money, that was the biggest transfer of money between two human beings in the history of the world.
Made her the richest woman in the world at the time.
60 billion, I think, something like that. So she's doing all right. She has to put up with his nonsense, walking around thinking that he's Tony Stark or something. Whatever he's done with his brain, I don't know. But when they
Tim, did you show Eric that picture I sent you of Lauren Sanchez?
Oh no, because it was on TikTok.
Is she all clowned up?
Yeah, she looks like an hourglass in some weird dress.
that dress that she's wearing.
Yeah.
I think that's today.
Or a salt shaker, I thought, from the 70s.
It's just really, I mean, and George said this during the break, their need for adoration is bizarre. It's bizarre. I mean, it's not quite as pathetic as Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, only because Bezos has actually done something. He's done quite an extraordinarily, starting a bookstore in his garage and turned it into this thing that is, nearly running the world. So you could not like him for it or whatever.
Prime citizen, return to your prime home.
Yes, but he's done something. He made something out of almost nothing. He started a bookstore in his garage, and it's turned into this. So we can only say, well, you have no self-awareness and you are a D-bag, but which is the same about Meghan and Prince Harry, but they have done nothing. Nothing ever once.
Hey, Suits was pretty good.
But they both do the same thing. And this is I don't understand. As I'm watching them get on their boat and she's in her salt shaker dress. Look at my weight. I saw Oprah. Boy, the Ozempic is kicked in. My goodness gracious.
Is she all gaunt now?
No, actually looks very good. But it's gone. The weight is gone. But as they're going down, and I've seen this week while they show up and they peek out from behind some curtain or whatever. And they're always waving at people. Who the hell are they waving to? Who is it? Like, are you reviewing the troops? Like, what are you doing? I don't understand.
Well, they're trying to give us some glimpses because apparently the wedding and all of the parties around it have no phones. So you'd agree with that, Eric? You would like that. There's no phones allowed at any of the ceremonies.
No leaks, because these are very important people. Just ask them; they'll tell you. It's Lauren Sanchez. Wow.
You don't think she looks good?
Listen, I'm not going to – I think that she looks like she spent a lot of money trying to look good. I'll put it that way. But, no, I'm just talking about her mental – like, what is this person about? What is this person about? I get it, but I think that he gets a lot of criticism just for being who he is. I know who he is. I told you who he is. He started a bookstore in his garage. That's what he's about. Huh?
He's a dork.
He's a billionaire dork.
He started
That's
a bookstore
what I mean. Like he's
in
making
his...
up for years of being a dork and not cute, and now...
Fine. He also works out all day long. Right? He's turned himself into this ridiculous, muscle-bound old guy. Yeah, all that. I'm not letting him off the hook, but I understand him more, I guess, because I have a guy brain. I get how that works. I'm with With her, I just this need to be an A-lister and understood, and nobody questions it when she shows up. That's why she got in the rocket with Katy Perry. That was the idea when that was supposedly going to be one giant leap forward for females. And the idea for Bezos was to put her on there so that she could become somebody important. Well, that blew up in everybody's face.
It ruined Katy Perry.
I don't know. She was on her way to ruining herself.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was
one
more bad move in her comeback. But it's interesting to me, it's because it is kind of like a Meghan Markle thing. Like, what is this need? I got an idea. Run for Senate and win. You'll be a senator. You'll be in one of 100. If you get into the Senate, right, you are somebody simply because there's only 100 people in this rather powerful club. But so Meghan Markle, run for Senate. If this is what you want, and you say you care about the society and blah, blah, blah.
Get her and Prince Harry to move to Kentucky, run against Thomas Massey.
Yeah.
Win that House seat.
Yeah, there you go. Trump's going to clear it out for you.
I would rather have her than Thomas Massey. I'll tell you that right now.
He wasn't in Suits. That was a pretty good show, huh?
Yeah, I loved it. I wish they liked me.
But it's just a weird thing that I just can't figure out. Like, why do people have this need? They've got everything. But there's something that she doesn't have, and she wants to be respected as an A-lister. But she hasn't written, directed, or starred in a great movie. There are things that you do. So Lauren Sanchez, sorry, you're the wife of that billionaire guy, and you always will be. I don't care how many cookbooks you publish. Has she published a?
No, she did a children's book.
Okay, you can.
Oh, the easiest thing to do.
Oh, exactly. And
the
how
little
much?
caterpillar went and ate a bug.
This one's The Fly Who Flew to Space.
Okay, all right, great.
Oh my!
And do we really believe, even as easy as it is to write a children's book, do we really believe that she wrote it?
3 words per
And shouldn't it
page.
be the fly that almost went to outer space?
The female fly.
So she just has this need that when she walks into a room, she wants everybody to go, oh, there's Lauren. But they're not. They're always going to go, oh, there's the guy who owns Amazon and his wife. And this is what Meghan Markle needs for some reason. And it's bizarre because in reality, this is how it works. Once you get to the point that you have enough money that you don't have to worry about paying your bills, you've made it. The rest is gravy. You don't have to aspire to some. Now I want everybody to respect me. No, you don't have to.
She's only 55, Eric. She could have a good second half.
She's only 55. She doesn't look a day over
54.
Well, I don't know how to put it because cosmetically, she's at least pushed herself back to 47.
Sure.
You got to give her that.
Okay.
I mean, if a clown is 47, which they are, clowns,
Clowns live that long?
Sure, sometimes.
I didn't think they did.
Not
Okay.
usually.
Yeah.
Usually the mob takes them out.
The clown mob.
The clown mob.
This is a little bit interesting. She learned to fly at 40 and got her pilot's license, and she founded Black Ops Aviation, the first female-owned aerial film and production company.
See, she keeps doing it, but how much of her female-led productions have you seen? How many of those have you seen? Like, she's trying to do everything she can to be this sort of feminist icon,
Right.
But feminist icons have a part of their career where it's dirty and filthy and they're knocking on doors in bad neighborhoods and you got to earn this stuff. You don't just step in, marry one of the richest people in the world and start foundations. You're not really that. And how much time is she spending on her aerial women in the air? Air women.
She kind of wants to be that woman that got lost in the airplane.
Oh yeah.
Amelia Earhart.
I think the rest of the country does as well. He goes back from Venice. I don't know. I just lost her.
She got on her plane,
Oh,
and
it
that was that.
happened. She's no idea.
Guys, she's also involved with the Bezos Earth Fund. She's
Oh
also,
yeah. You know what? You know what helps the Earth? Taking a 12-minute ride into lower space just for the fun of it. That helps the Earth. I like all these people. Like, I would help the Earth. And I'm not saying you have to apologize for it, but if you're going to go around like Coldplay that pretended that their last tour they had 0 carbon footprint.
Yeah.
Baloney. Do you believe that? Hey, here's the good news. You just found out you're an idiot. If you actually bought that story, it's good. Especially if you're young, you find out you're an idiot now, you can change it. You can try harder in the future.
Grok says she was worth $30 million when she started dating
That doesn't.
Bezos.
Okay, she was an anchor. She was married to Tony Gonzalez. So I don't know. Okay, she's worth $30 million. Now, before she met Bezos or before she got married?
Before she met him. Before she started dating him.
All right, so that's pretty successful. How did she make her $30 million? Not off of being an anchor.
Well, that and her film company and...
Her film company. Have I seen any of these films?
Yeah.
What movie has she made?
She was and Fox Sports Net, Extra, Good Day at L.A., Ariel Film Production Company that you mentioned.
You can get $30 million by being an anchor on Extra? I want to do that. Hey, so-and-so went to a restaurant with a new girlfriend. Give me my money.
Get the camera.
It didn't add her divorce settlement from Gonzalez.
It
didn't add that, but
that might
just popped
have
into my
a
head.
little something to it. Yes, George Clark.
She's played a reporter in a bunch of movies.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great.
Yeah,
that's great. Find a movie and find a YouTube clip. I want to see her acting.
Okay.
Sometimes there's nothing worse than reporters who are actual reporters, and then they try to play reporters, and they look terrible. Wolf Blitzer will say yes to anybody who wants him to be in a movie.
I'll do it.
Happy Friday. Oh, by the way, can people around here stop telling me it's Friday? I know. I walk down the hall. Hey, how you doing? Hey, it's Friday. You think I don't know what day of the week it is? Why do people keep telling me it's Friday?
I'm trying to help you.
Are they? Let's keep you on. Hey, in case you didn't know, it's Friday. Happy Friday. Alex Williams has better news on 285 in Sandy Springs.
Hey, happy Friday, Eric. We do have some better news here. They just cleared up a stall out of the left lane, 285 eastbound, the Interloop Riverside Drive, exit 24. Had to hold all lanes to do so. That's why you're stacked up as you leave I-75 in Cobb County. But those delays will start to improve. We just picked up a new crash on 285 in Dunwoody. It's in the second left lane, 285 westbound, the outer loop, Ashford Dunwoody Road, exit 29. You're slow back to Peachtree Boulevard there, coming out of Dorville. And both directions of 285, both east and northbound, the inner and outer loop slow getting onto 85 northbound, all due to a crash that just moved to the right shoulder up around Pleasantdale Road. How's I-20 over on the west side of town, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, 20 westbound, you're slow leaving I-25, getting past Lee Road. Eastbound ride, seeing the brake lights begin at Thornton Road, getting to the perimeter. This report is sponsored by Sam's Club. Ready for some locked-in summer value at Sam's Club till July 22nd? Prices are held on over 1,000 items, including summer must-haves like ice cream. Sign up for a membership and join at samsclub.com/join. From the Corey Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Is your summer vacation going to be a week at the beach or a week in the backyard standing in the kiddie pool?
If you listen to 95.5 WSB, that week at the beach could be yours. It's $1,000 Thursdays on WSB.
Your chance to win $1,000 every hour between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. on Thursdays.
Listen for the keyword. Enter the keyword at WSBradio.com or on the WSB app within that hour.
Get all the info at WSBradio.com.
$1,000 Thursdays next Thursday.
95.5 WSB.
Where Atlanta wins.
This is Scott Slade, and nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. That's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual Imaging's LDCT body scan can be invaluable, giving you more time for you and your loved ones to take charge of your health. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. Due to overwhelming demand for a limited time, their $995 core body scan offer has been extended. It's a $2,495 value. Early detection saves lives, and now it's more affordable than ever. Virtual Imaging has gotten such great response to this offer that they've opened up more times in both offices, but appointments will fill up fast, so don't wait. Some minimum requirements may apply. Early detection is your best protection. To schedule your virtual imaging $995 core body scan, call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
This upcoming health tip is brought to you by Kroger Pharmacy. Wear a mask and gloves when cleaning or vacuuming to limit dust and chemical exposure. Clean your carpets with a HEPA vacuum to decrease dust mites and pet allergen levels. Do this regularly to keep buildup and your allergy symptoms to a minimum.
Atlanta DIY landlords, listen up. If you're exhausted from managing your rental properties all by yourself, my friends at Renters Warehouse Atlanta offering a 90-day test drive. Hire Renters Warehouse to manage your rental property for a low flat monthly fee as low as $115. If you're not satisfied at any time in the first 3 months, you can fire them. Get your management fees back. What do you get for that low flat monthly fee? A dedicated property management team, maintenance coordination, move in and move out property condition reports, advanced tenant screening with a 9-month tenant warranty, professional photography and videography, lease renewal processing and negotiations, online rent collection, monthly owner cash flow statements, and more. Renters Warehouse, so confident you'll love their service, they want an addition for your business. Choice is yours. Keep DIYing or see how Renters Warehouse can make your life easier. Start your 90-day test drive today. Go to rwatlanta.com or call 404-662-2322, 404-662-2322.
Your neighborhood Kroger Pharmacy is happy to welcome back Express Scripts Medicare D and TRICARE Department of Defense Plan members. It's easy to transfer prescriptions at Kroger.com/pay-or-update. See your Kroger Pharmacy for details.
Oh, popsicle drips, muddy shoes, and summertime messes, don't let them take over your home. Call Zero-Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Zero-Res uses their ZR water technology, no dirt-attracting soaps, no harsh chemicals, just a truly clean, healthy home. Right now, take advantage of their summer sale. Get 15% off all services, that is carpets, air ducts, rugs, tile, and more, all 15% off. Just mention Chris Chandler or book now at ZeroResAtlanta.com, and yeah, they do commercial cleaning too. Zero-Res, all they leave is clean.
The Lloyd Advisory Group has a question for you. Is your retirement inflation-proof? Here's what we mean. In retirement, chances are you're on a fixed income with unpredictable expenses. So how do you not run out of money when the cost of just about everything continues to go up? You inflation-proof it. Financial advisor Mark Lloyd and the team at Lloyd Advisory Group can show you ways to help fight inflation so it doesn't outpace your income. Call us today at 770-766-5611. Inflation can take a huge chunk out of your retirement savings, but it doesn't have to. With some simple planning, inflation can go from being a major disruption to a minor annoyance. Call Mark Lloyd and the team at Lloyd Advisory Group now to start inflation-proofing your retirement today. 770-766-5611. That's 770-766-5611. Insurance products and services are offered through the Lloyd Advisory Group. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
I see this story. Uber Eats is launching a new robot delivery service right here in the ATL.
That's right, Midtown, 4th Ward, and downtown.
It looks a lot like that little Amazon buggy that was going around for a while.
You mean the one I kick over all the
Well,
time?
that's what I'm saying about these things. I don't buy it. I don't buy that drones are going to land and give me food. I don't buy that these little things. I mean, look at this thing.
That's stupid.
Can you imagine this thing trying to navigate
cute. I'm sorry, it looks cute.
I know, but just imagine it trying to navigate the sidewalks around Georgia Tech. You know, like what? I mean, Atlanta is full of sidewalks that have roots of 5,000-year-old trees burgeoning up through the.
I got to say, the Amazon ones were in my old neighborhood. We were like a test neighborhood in Midtown, and they actually knew how to go over like the roots and everything. They were like,
that's fine. Okay, now the people who are just going to knock it over and steal the food.
Now that's going to
they're
definitely happen.
armed.
Oh, they armed.
Yeah, they zap you.
They'll take care of it. I just don't see this thing, crossing La Vista at 4 p.m.
That's gonna be tough.
I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying it.
Eric, you know how they're going to get people to choose those though? Is that when you initially order from Uber Eats, it's going to ask you, do you want to have a real driver or a robot? And the real driver, it's going to prompt you for a tip.
Yeah.
The robot, you don't have to tip.
Oh.
So I think
I'm going to tip it all right.
I'll tip it right over. Well, that's so you're telling me that not only can I get my food tepid, not hot, not quite warm, I can get my food tepid, but at the same time I can pretend that I'm BlackRock and screw over somebody from the middle class?
That's right.
Hell yeah, sign me up.
Save $3.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Save $3. Use the robot.
Why should those people get $3? Have you seen them? They're driving around in their luxury vehicles.
Tip over the recommended amount, and then your food arrives nice, and they're very friendly when they drop it.
That's
around.
not the way tips are supposed to work, though. It's not supposed to be like, hey, if I tip you a lot, will you give me good? You're supposed to give good service, and then the person goes, that was very good service.
But you have
and
to
then
tip before they get there, so you pay it forward.
It's all. I used to pay it forward, and now everything costs so much that I'm that middle guy. Whatever, that one in the middle. And I know it's rigged that way. I know that human psychology says you'll go for the one in the middle. I get it. But I'm not moving up to the top anymore. Because people took advantage. During the pandemic, we overtipped because we knew people were struggling. Now everybody's struggling.
It is crazy when
I can't tip you. I cannot tip this country into taking care of their $36 trillion debt. I'm sorry. I can't do that.
I saw one restaurant, Eric, that had at the low end now 30%, 35%, and 40%.
Yeah,
And I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's good. You know, it's time to stop going to concerts. Well, unless you get some for free, which I'm about to give out.
There we go.
It's time to stop spending hundreds of dollars for these things, and the prices are just going to keep going up until people say, nah, that's enough. I can't do that anymore. I've seen Springsteen 47 times. Maybe I don't have to pay $2,000 to see him again. Speaking of concerts that you should see, hey, this will be free if you win them from us. 2 tickets to see Bryan Adams on Thursday, November 6th at Gas South Arena. Be caller number 10 to 404-872-0750. Alex Williams says there's a crash on 285 in Dunwoody.
And they are holding all lanes right now, Eric, to try to get this one off to the side from the second left lane. 285 westbound, the outer loop, Ashford Dunwoody Road, exit number 29. That's got you stacked in back toward Peachtree Boulevard. Elsewhere, 285 north and southbound, a little slow over on the west side, really in both directions, anywhere between Smyrna Vinings and Camp Creek Parkway where it's been raining. You also might see some of that rain around the airport. 285 westbound, a little sluggish, getting past Riverdale Road, exit number 60. How's I-75 on the south side, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, 75 northbound, it's slow, leaving Locust Road, starting before Bill Gardner Parkway, getting to Jodico Road. And southbound rides, those delays start at I-675, getting to Highway 2081. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any age system, maker, model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
It's officially time for Zero Res's annual summer sale. Take advantage and get 15% off all cleaning services. Mention Chris Chandler to secure this deal today or book online at ZeroResAtlanta.com. Zero Res. All they leave is clean.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-2798. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Ashley Frasca, host of Green and Growing for Atlanta's premium sod supplier, NG Turf. Get farm fresh, high quality sod, including Zeon Zoysia and Tiff Tough Bermuda, delivered direct from NG Turf, your premium sod provider. NGTurf.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or Canada Dry. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Belinda Skelton here with Atlanta Vision Institute's very own Dr. Ashraf, who is one of the most experienced eye surgeons in the country. Dr. Ashraf, we've all watched the news and the economy is uncertain, but failing eyesight isn't. And if you've held back due to finances, we've got good news for you, don't we?
Yes, Belinda, as you know, our eyesights degrade as we age. And with the laser optics procedure, that resets all of that. And Most of my patients go most of the day without glasses. They can even read their phone without glasses. And in terms of the economy, most of these patients, their medical insurance can cover most of the costs. And if it doesn't, we have a lot of good financing options for this procedure.
That's awesome, Dr. Ashraf. I urge you to take the quiz to see if you're a candidate. Go to 2020atlanta.com. That's 2020atlanta.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's news and
At
talk.
4:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by QC Kinetics. Our top story, President Trump celebrating a ruling from the Supreme Court today on his effort to stop birthright citizenship. In a 6-3 ruling, the court decides district judges do not have the ability to issue nationwide injunctions. Local immigration advocate Jerry Gonzalez has this reaction.
Unfortunately, I think this is a horrible decision by the Supreme Court.
The ruling was not on Trump's executive order itself, but Gonzalez says it does leave the door open to allowing the administration to end birthright citizenship. Also, the Supreme Court sides with parents who say they should be able to opt their children out from lessons involving LGBTQ-themed books.
This is a tremendous victory for parents.
President Trump praising today's 6-3 decision. The court says a Maryland school board decision to not allow for parents to opt their children out of lessons involving the books violates their religious rights. It is now 90 degrees in Atlanta, but storms are popping up this afternoon, and one storm, in fact, just south of the city leads to a ground stop this hour at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. Do we see more storms this weekend? Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. President Trump gets tough on Canada with tariffs.
President Trump says he is immediately suspending trade talks with Canada over plans to tax U.S. technology firms through what is known as a digital services fee. The president calls this, quote, a direct and blatant attack on our country. Canada's tax is set to take effect on Monday. It would impose a 3% levy on companies like Amazon, Google, and Airbnb and would apply retroactively.
CBS's Linda Kenyon reports the president calls Canada a very difficult country to trade with. And now a WSB Money update. Despite Trump's tariff announcement about Canada, stocks cap a record-breaking week on Wall Street, but the S&P and NASDAQ hit all-time highs. The Dow closes the day up 432 points. A new report on the levels of dangerous chemicals in waterways across 19 states, including right here in Georgia.
The study took samples upstream and downstream on the Chattahoochee River, and the conclusion was clear.
These chemicals are everywhere.
Chattahoochee Riverkeeper Executive Director Jason Alseth says the study was done in partnership with the Waterkeeper Alliance, which found the dangerous compounds present in 98% of the waterways they tested. These chemicals have been linked to negative health effects.
What we've learned is that they are actually carcinogens.
The report recommends more enforcement of drinking water standards and calls for more monitoring and treatment of waterways. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta police are searching for 2 people involved in a deadly hit and run in front of Piedmont Hospital.
Responding officers arrived to find a man lying in the middle of Peachtree Road. He was pronounced dead by medical personnel. The driver of a white Nissan Maxima did not stop initially. He pulled into a parking lot a few blocks away. Witnesses say the male driver and a female passenger then took off on foot. Atlanta police say they are now looking for those 2 individuals. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
A Waleska man goes to prison for life for shaking a baby to death.
A Cherokee County jury has found 28-year-old Gregory Farrell Davis guilty of malice murder, felony murder, and cruelty to children after the autopsy of a 1-year-old boy revealed that the child suffered traumatic injuries to his brain and neck, consistent with what's commonly referred to as shaken baby syndrome. Back in April 2021, Davis was caring for little Jamie Marco Palacio while his mother was at work. Evidence shows the child suffered vertebrae and rib fractures, along with a previous skull fracture while in Davis's care. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
More than 700 kids from across Metro Atlanta take part in the annual At Promise Field Day today at the Atlanta Public Safety Training Center. Erica Collins with the Atlanta Police Foundation says it's about building relationships with those who serve in their communities.
When you think about the young people today, sometimes when coming from some of their backgrounds and the areas that they're from,
they may look at law enforcement not as friendly.
She says many participants end up considering future careers in law enforcement. It's now 4:34. Time for live team coverage of traffic and weather, and triple team traffic begins now with Alex Williams.
Checking the ride to the northern suburbs, 75 and northbound, seeing the brake lights through Marietta, Kennesaw and Ackworth on 75 north, starting right around North Marietta Parkway up toward Wade Green Road. We just picked up a new inbound crash in Ackworth, right lane knocked out, 75 southbound past Highway 92, exit 277. Traffic Trooper Ron told us about a crash, and we saw it go off to the right in Roswell, Georgia 400 northbound before you get to Mansell Road, exit 8. Other slowest part of that is just going to be in the backups of that after it cleared from the Chattahoochee River, making your way up past Holcomb Bridge Road. How's I-85 heading toward Gwinnett County, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, 85 northbound seeing delays begin at Spaghetti Junction, I-285 getting to Indian Trail Road, and then those rides pick up again at Highway 316 getting to I-985. From the Corey Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz. Scattered storms through the evening, dry overnight into Saturday morning. We'll start at 72 tomorrow, partly cloudy early. Afternoon storms will be scattered and into the evening hours as well. Tomorrow's high 90. We'll hit 91 with afternoon storms on Sunday.
And Storm Tracker radar shows some spotty rain showers and storms around the metro area at this hour. Nothing severe in metro Atlanta. We do have some heavy rain right now just to the south of the city that is impacting Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. It is now 92 degrees at Brazelton, 91 in Roswell, 89 in Fayetteville. More news at 5 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
This is Scott Slade, and nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. That's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual Imaging's LDCT body scan can be invaluable, giving you more time for you and your loved ones to take charge of your health. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. Due to overwhelming demand for a limited time, their $995 core body scan offer has been extended. It's a $2,495 value. Early detection saves lives, and now it's more affordable than ever. Virtual Imaging has gotten such great response to this offer that they've opened up more times in both offices, but appointments will fill up fast, so don't wait. Some minimum requirements may apply. Early detection is your best protection. To schedule your virtual imaging $995 core body scan, call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
Take your summer celebration to the next level with a Bullfrog hot tub from Brown's Pools and Spas. Entertain and enjoy your yard with your family like never before. Only Bullfrog offers the Jetpack Therapy System, allowing you to customize each seat to fit every body in your family. Shop our Independence Day hot tub sale now. Instant rebates up to $1,500 or special financing for up to 120 months. Offer ends July 7th. Celebrating over 50 years of BrownsPools.com.
Don't let a DUI ruin your life. Hire the attorney that other attorneys hire. GeorgeStein.com.
Here at Massey, we've seen the damage termites can cause. That's why we've protected homes from termite damage for almost 100 years. Our termite protection program doesn't just protect your home from termites, it gives you peace of mind. That's why our Termite Protection Guarantee covers your home and all the things in it. When we protect against termites, we protect families. Schedule your free inspection today at MasseyServices.com. Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
Congratulations to Joe Stamps. Not a commercial. Not a place
Joey Stamps.
Not a place to buy stamps. Congratulations to Joe Stamps of Buford. Won 2 tickets to see Bryan Adams on Thursday, November 6th at Gas South Arena. Tickets are on sale right now at Ticketmaster.com. I just saw this commercial for this doggy headphones. Have you seen these?
I have not seen that commercial. What?
Well, they're called Doggy Hush.
Oh, is it for it's for 4th of July probably. It's probably
Yeah,
okay.
But my thing is, okay, maybe it's a good idea. I don't know, but do dogs like having things on their head?
No.
And over their ears? Like, won't they just spend the whole time just trying to get it off? You know, a dog doesn't understand, they're doing this because later on there's going to be fireworks and they know it's, thank you very much. They're not going to do that. They're just going to, what is this on my head?
It's going to be way easier to get a dog to wear headphones than a cat.
Okay, you can look at it that way, but it's way easier to get anybody or anything to do anything than it is with a cat.
Oh, my little buddy would definitely wear headphones.
Your little buddy.
No, yeah, put a headphone on a cat.
Yeah.
See what
I'm
happens.
gonna try.
Enjoy your claws.
I think it'd be difficult because when you have to put the cones on cats or dogs, they spend the whole time trying to back out of them. They don't understand. It's really kind of a if you're not really funny because they're not really enjoying themselves. But when my cats, whenever they get fixed over the years and they put the cone on, they just spend all this time trying to back out of it. And then it goes with them, and they don't understand. They're just backing up. Like, I should be able to get my head out of this. Why is it going with me? So I don't see that. I don't know if I'm not really a dog person. Don't have anything against dogs. Don't wish them any trouble.
Maybe if you have a really old dog and it's just like lost its spark.
Yeah. Put them on.
Yeah, I'll just lay here.
Just lay here, like that dog on Hee Haw.
That just laid around, right? That big old, was that a big bloodhound?
Yeah, just kind of laid on the porch.
They would sing to it.
Well, every once in a while, the joke was it would go, "Arr!"
Yeah.
As I recall the bit. I can't remember exactly what the bit was, but the dog every once in a while on cue would, there were so many hilarious bits on Hee Haw.
Beauregard the Wonder Dog.
Yeah, it's very difficult to keep up with all the hilarity that was given as a gift to the American people by the good writers at KORN. Hee Haw.
KORN.
All right, you got any ish for us before we move on to George Stein at the top of the hour?
Well, this broke a little while ago, top of the hour here.
No, who broke?
Smuckers has just announced that it will be removing artificial colors and dyes from its products. That's following General Mills, Heinz.
With a name like Smuckers.
Yes, RFK Jr.
It's got to be good.
And Nestle announced today, too. So RFK Jr., man, you're really making a change over there.
No, wait a minute. For years, they said these artificial dyes didn't do anything.
Right?
So, and I'm looking up, I ask AI, what's the deal with these artificial? That's what I say. What's the deal? What's the deal?
What's the deal with these artificial sweeteners? If sugar's sweet, why do you need something else?
There's a behavioral side effects in children. Potential. It says here, potential health concerns. Because to me, I thought artificial dyes is like, I thought they were inert. Like they're just like coloring.
Well, if they make them out of raspberries, aren't raspberries red? Why do you need dye?
Okay, well, maybe there's a downside. Maybe raspberries
It
cost
costs
more.
more. Yeah.
Oh.
You got to have somebody.
Some of the colors are made with like strange ingredients.
Well, maybe you don't need jelly every day.
Okay, well, it's like if you're going to use the raspberries, you got to have somebody cross the border illegally.
Well, use honey. Use honey.
Well, that takes stuff too. It's honey is not necessarily great for you. I mean, it has some good attributes. So it says multiple studies have linked synthetic food dyes to behavioral issues in children, including increased hyperactivity and attention problems. Is this one the reason the kids are so stupid now?
Do they have the ADHD?
Maybe.
Is it the artificial dyes?
I have ADHD because I ate Skittles.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, though. I've met a lot of pretty dumb, dullard children, and they're eating the same artificial dyes. So I don't know. It's not like the dullard kids they have a much better diet.
Hey, the Amish kids make barns when they're 5.
That's because they are told to.
Well, they know how.
Do you want to?
They're not eating all that crap.
They're not eating all this?
No.
Is your point that you've met dullard kids that have bad diets?
Yeah, as I'm saying is they're not hyperactive. They're just like,
That may be part of their hyperactivity. It's not necessarily just hyperactive. It's attention deficit.
Okay, so you could be
hyperactive.
You could be a hyper dullard.
Sure.
Is that possible?
No, you can just be dumb.
That's what I'm saying. Just like
Smart at any brain size.
Aww.
Don't say
with
dumb.
A cape.
No, some people are dumb.
Adults. Kids can't help it.
Every once in a while, you'll meet a kid and go,
You're like, wow.
There's no hope.
Not gonna make it.
I mean, they're gonna make it, but they're gonna, they're not gonna cure cancer. Let's put it that way.
You're like, wow. Little Leroy, my goodness.
You always use the name Leroy.
I don't know. I love that.
And it always freaks me out.
Why?
Why does it freak you out? So the
I don't
name's
know.
been
It's a
around
name
forever.
that
It's been around forever.
I know, but it feels like a problematic name.
I have
to
an
me.
uncle named Leroy.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Are you
I don't know
saying
why
you
it
don't
gives
think
me
it's a
that
white
vibe.
name? Is that what you're trying to get to? There's plenty
That
of
what?
white. Are you saying it's not? Are you saying it's problematic? Are you It's like you're saying like there's racism or something.
Yeah, for some reason it gives me that feeling.
Well, because there's
people
plenty
named
of
Leroy.
there's a lot of white people named Leroy.
Hey, I can't explain it, okay? I'm just talking about my feelings.
Well, listen, you need to be able to explain your feelings. It feels problematic.
It's that artificial dye that she had when she was a kid. She has.
That's
she has
what it is.
ADHD.
She can't
shake it.
She's I never met a white Leroy.
I haven't.
You probably haven't met an African American one either. That's
Yeah,
an old name.
not.
It's just a name that's been around forever.
Yeah, for some reason,
I
right?
think one of the
don't know.
apocryphal books of the Bible, isn't it? The ones that didn't make it.
Yeah, they found it in a cave.
Yeah, the Book of
Leroy.
Leroy.
Hey, y'all. I wandered around the desert because I'm stupid.
Hey, the only reason you haven't heard of it is because King James decided it wasn't going to be in there.
Oh my God, it's from French. It means the king.
Leroy.
Yes.
Oh,
look at
Leroy. Like LaCroix.
King James didn't really have anything to do with it. It was the Council of Nicaea.
He put them together.
Well, he translated the English.
Called the King James Version of the Bible. Why is it called the King
But he
James?
didn't
And are
remove
you
things
telling-
from the Council of Nicaea.
Well, that's what they decided. They decided that no, he had a different council.
He did, the Council of James.
Yeah, it's called the King James Version because there were so many different versions of the Bible floating around in the early 1600s that they decided there needed to be one standard, and they threw some books out, like Ruth. I think she hit the road.
She did.
Poor
Ruth.
Yeah.
Of course they did. Woman.
Yeah. They're trying to get
Leroy obviously got thrown out
Yeah,
too.
Book of Leroy. I don't know.
Marge.
So yeah, that's my understanding. George Clark, have you looked it up? Am I right? Am I wrong? It says King James Version.
I will have to look a little more.
I believe in it. It was a council he put together. Like this, how long was he on the throne? He took over in 1602 or something. When the Queen died in like 1601.
Oh, Elizabeth.
Yeah, somewhere there. But I may not know exactly. Hey, don't hold me to it. It might have been 1603.
Those years
might
better
have been
be
1600.
exact. They better be exact, Eric.
I feel like this council got together in like the 1620s, but I don't know how long that guy was king. He was pretty young. He was already the king somewhere else. And they just said, hey, come over here and be king.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you're already the king of whatever.
The original King James Version of the Bible, published in 1611, did not remove books. It included the Apocrypha,
So
which
it
are a
put
collection
books
of
in.
books found in the Catholic and Orthodox Bible canons.
So it put books in.
Yes.
All right. So
It
the
was still
Nicaeans.
translated from translation.
We don't need your.
Shut up,
yeah,
you
yeah,
Bible
yeah,
hater.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Jeez.
So your Nicaeans, they took them out,
No, the Nicaeans.
and then King James put some back in.
That's not very nice of him.
Okay, this segment's over.
Oh.
Alex Williams says there's trouble on 85 in Brookhaven.
That's right, Eric. We've been watching a stalled big rig in the right lane, 85 northbound, just north of Claremont Road, exit 91. The good news is we just watched the big rig tow truck get it out of the way, so everything back open. Hopefully that'll help those brake lights that started to pack in back at North Druid Hills. Definitely getting better there. Also up in Ackworth, we had a crash, clear out of the right lane, 75 southbound, past Highway 92, exit number 277. So that is helping things out. 285 north and southbound over on the west side. Still seeing some impacts from that rain we had earlier, anywhere between I-20 and Camp Creek Parkway. Speaking of, how is I-20 through the work zone into Cobb County, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, tracking delays 20 westbound leaving Stonecrest as you pass Evans Mill Road getting to I-285. Eastbound rides, you're on and off the brakes, leaving the perimeter heading towards Panola Road. From the Corey Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
When news breaks.
And thanks to this decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with numerous policies.
We've got it covered.
There are people elated all over the country.
Tune in often for the latest.
No longer will we have rogue judges striking down President Trump's policies.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
You know the best part about hot weather is walking into a cool, comfortable house, right? Dave Baker here for Coolray Heating and Cooling. Summer is here. Don't let HVAC problems ruin your fun. Coolray is offering up to $2,250 in rebates and free installation with the purchase of a complete home carrier system. Ready to stay cool this summer? Visit Coolray.com to book your appointment today and keep your home cool and comfortable all summer long. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Buying a car shouldn't be a mystery. Hi, I'm Stacey Ellis, Vice President of the Jim Ellis Automotive Group. At Jim Ellis, we believe in complete transparency because you deserve to know exactly what you're getting. That's why we show you all the numbers, no hidden fees, no surprises. We explain every option clearly so you can make the right decision with confidence. And if you ever have questions, we have answers. Our team is here to guide you, making sure you're informed and in control every step of the way. At Jim Ellis Automotive, we don't want to sell you just any car. We want to help you buy the right car, because doing the right thing for you is what matters most to us. Experience car buying the way it should be. Honest, straightforward, and built around you. And don't forget, Jim Ellis buys cars too. It's the safe and easy way to get maximum value for your car. To get started, visit one of our 21 convenient locations across Metro Atlanta or shop online at jimellis.com. The quick, easy, and convenient way to search and compare more than 5,500 cars, trucks, and SUVs. Jim Ellis Automotive, where you can always expect the best.
Hey, if you got weekend plans, make sure your home is ready for them. I called Wise Guys Pro Wash and boom, the house, driveway, and patio were spotless. They even cleaned the roof. I didn't even have to be home. They are truly professionals using the top equipment in the industry, and their soft washing kept my home safe and damage-free, and the results, incredible. Wise Guys has more than 2,000 five-star reviews, and I know why now. So mention me, Chris Chandler, for $70 off your next service. Book today at wiseguysprowash.com.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
The cost of mesothelioma treatments can exceed $400,000, and families often face losing their homes and life savings just to pay the bill. The Rights and Claims Department of Flint Cooper has helped victims secure financial support they need to pay for their care and ensure their family's future. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma and don't have legal representation, call Flint Cooper now at 800-606-8169. Time is running out for you to file a claim, so don't wait. Call 800-606-8169 for a free consultation.
Here's what you'll get at Wolf Pen European Auto Repair in Roswell. Honest pricing, factory-trained certified technicians, and real car lovers working on your Porsche, BMW, Audi, Mercedes-Benz. Just search Wolf Pen Auto Repair and see the difference.
So the numbers are coming out about, you get these stories every year, what it's going to cost you for your July 4th picnic. This is the second highest, not the... They've only been doing this since like 2012, but this is the second highest. But it seems kind of low to me, I have to tell you. So the average cost, who is this according to? It's from The Hill, from the American Farm Bureau Federation. They began tracking this in 2013. The average cost of a 4th of July picnic for 10 people... Well, this is bad writing by The Hill. The average cost of a 4th of July picnic for 10 people will cost... You have a thesaurus over there at The Hill? You have to use the word twice in one sentence? $70.92. Let's round up and say $71. Down slightly from $71.22 last year. That seems like a deal to me. Like $70 for 10 people?
You one hot dog, maybe?
Yeah, like that. I think it's going to cost more. Doesn't that seem low?
For a cookout at home?
10 people.
Include?
It's 10 people.
Yeah, are they including...
You got your coleslaw and your hot dogs
your
and your
basic,
potato salad
you got
and
your
your
tater
watermelon?
salad, you got your watermelon.
They're not
What he
including
said.
alcohol.
They can't be.
No,
Right.
they're not including alcohol.
If
They're talking. They're farmers.
Water.
Then what
The
kind
stuff-
of picnic is that?
Well, the stuff, but
Not what
even
I'm going to.
even without the alcohol,
Lush.
you lush.
Whatever. Leave me alone.
I love the point.
Yeah, I like to drink. It's fine.
I love the point when the alcoholic's like, "Yeah, I'm an alcoholic. What of it?" Okay.
What are you going to do about it?
I'm not gonna
Am
do
I
anything.
functioning? Yeah.
Yeah.
So back off.
Come here, college boy.
What am I going to do about it? I'm going to pull up a chair and watch your slow disintegration. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna be drunk. and
I'm
having a good
fine.
time.
Where are my keys at?
Yeah, I'm good.
I drive better drunk.
I know people that have said that.
I'm related to people who have said that many
Focus.
times.
Well, now the new thing is people like to say that when they're high. They're like, "Oh, I drive so much safer when I'm high." I'm like, "No, you do not."
Well,
No, you do not.
they can say that because there's no test, right? There's no test yet that they can pull you over. I guess a blood test they could, but I mean,
smell
Urine
test.
test and a blood test.
smell test. I could have picked up. Hey, Hey, officer,
I ate
had
a skunk.
I picked up a hitchhiker, and that guy was smoking pot in my car.
Yeah, I threw
If
him
you can
out.
find him, I want to give him a talking to.
He tried to give me an ounce. It's in the
Yeah,
trunk. I was going to
kidding
throw
me?
it away when I got home.
You know, when I told you that a couple nights ago, I went to dinner with Tad Lemire from B90, whatever it is.
What are there?
Something like that. And after it was over, we were in the parking lot, just talking, saying goodbye the way you do. Hey, yeah, whatever.
Little.
Some, yeah, you know, a little
Hi, don't tell anybody.
some light petting. And this kid comes walking up. I don't know, maybe he's like 18 years old. But it's a big parking lot, so it's a long way. And, you know, as you were talking, it's like, okay, but there's something here. Something. So in those situations, I think it's better just to speak first. Well, what can we do for you? Just to wait for this. I was just wanting to get a ride, if I can get a ride home. Who says yes to that?
Autumn.
Who says yes to that?
Autumn's
Who
gonna be the
says
one.
yes to the wayward kid who just shows up in the parking lot?
How old was this person?
Like 17, maybe? Somewhere between 17 and 19.
Why doesn't he have a phone?
And it's like 11 o'clock at night. And, who says yes? I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's the nicest kid in the world. I have no idea.
Did he have a good reason?
I didn't ask. I said, nah, man, I always lie. I said, I'm leaving town. I even made a joke. I was like, unless you want to go to Florida. Nah.
I'm not
I
going
would be
that
like,
way.
where's your phone? Call your parents. Where's your guardian?
Yeah, he didn't look like parents were a big part of his situation.
No?
No.
How so? What do you look like?
Well, he just didn't look. He didn't have that look of like, I'm going to be late for school. Like, he didn't have that look.
Did he have like a book bag? and
No.
everything?
He didn't have that look. He had, I'm really stoned look. That's the look he had.
Okay.
Wonder if I can get a ride home.
There have been.
Who says yes?
There.
Yeah, that's. I was like, thinking, I'm driving home, and I'm like, maybe I should give him a ride home. But like, what are we going to talk about? I don't know this person. I've never picked up a hitchhiker or anything like that. Like, what do you talk about?
There have been an unusually high number of homeless people that I've noticed, especially on my commute in here. And I don't know if it's just because it's summer and so they come out more during the summertime.
Or
but
it might just be the
Those are
Black
just
Rocks
fellow
of the world.
pioneers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I guess so.
You're the one who decided to be a pioneer in your neighborhood,
That's
my
true.
friend.
That's true. But man, on my route, I'm like, wow, I did not see this many
It's
in
just
spring.
getting worse and worse and worse. It's you know, for all this stuff, nobody ever talks about it. People that talk about who should be in a public bathroom so long your eyes will water. Oh, all these people who's living on the streets? Nah. I don't expect my politician to do anything about it.
I let one shower at my house once.
What?
Yep.
A homeless guy, you let him come in?
Yep.
Did
Met
you?
him at the skate park, and he was like begging for a shower, and I let him.
Wait, was he a skating homeless dude?
Yes.
Was he of skater age, or was he an old guy?
No, he's a skater age.
And you didn't become friends with him or anything? Did you give him
When was
$10
the last
on
time
the
I
way
saw
out?
him? No.
Yeah, see? You'd think that he'd come back, give you a gift.
No.
A gift.
Some soap.
Here's something I whittled.
I got it. We got to do traffic. I could, George, we're not done with you. Although the other George is coming in, so I'm going to have to pick it up at 6. Alex Williams is watching the slow ride through downtown.
Yeah, slow Friday afternoon indeed, Eric. The brake lights find you at 400 and 85 southbound, coming right into their merging points. Beaverage Spring connector stacked in from Sydney Marcus, all trying to make your way into Midtown with 75, 85 southbound delays. Continuing down to I-20. Northbound, it's a rough ride, 75, 85 north from Langford Parkway up to Peachtree, Pine Street. All that slow traffic has got 20 westbound jammed up through East Atlanta, starting back at Moreland Avenue, heading into downtown. How is I-75 south of the city, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, seeing slow rides leaving Locust Grove, 75 northbound, starting before Bill Gardner Parkway getting to Jodico Road, and southbound rides become slow before Hudson Bridge Road to Highway 2081. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Hey everyone, it's your buddy Shelly Winter here. Join me this Saturday at noon for the Car Guys with Kevin Deutsch from Butler Lexus of South Atlanta. Buy or lease, fix or sell, everything you want to know about cars, we will cover Saturday noon to 1 right here on 95.5 WSB.
The perfect match for your next roof is Fenley Roofing. Fenley has already helped over 65,000 Georgia families and has over 2,000 5-star reviews. So you'll be sure you get your roof done right. Learn more at finleyroofing.com.
The big focus in America today is on your health, and more people looking beyond pills and steroids and surgery. Hey, it's Mark Aaron for QC Kinetics. At QC Kinetics, they've been on the cutting edge of this medical revolution since 2018. Using regenerative medicine, they have helped tens of thousands of people get lasting joint pain relief using natural treatments that harness your body's own healing power. The truth is, regenerative medicine used to be an alternative treatment. Now it's mainstream, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader. Their well-respected protocols include potent and powerful cellular-level treatments to revitalize and restore damaged joint tissue. They're not masking the pain. They're going after the very source of it. Yes, you can say goodbye to that chronic pain and live your best life. Learn more about this revolutionary treatment and get a free consultation. Call QC Kinetics now, 770-285-8026, 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026.
Hi, it's Tim Andrews from the Von Haessler Doctrine, inviting you to join me for my Saturday pop culture and entertainment show, the Tim Andrews Popcast. Joining me this week is a comedian from Royston, Georgia, named Caleb Synan. He's been on the program before, but more importantly, he's a frequent guest on Conan O'Brien, and he was featured on The Last Comic Standing. He's coming to the Punchline July 3rd through the 6th, and he's a very funny guy. That's the Popcast. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on 95.5 WSB.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk. News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
At 5 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio with our top story. It is a WSB money update, and investors have reason to celebrate. Stocks soar to new highs.
Fresh record closing highs today for both the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 as stocks rose higher thanks mostly to the U.S. securing new trade agreements with China and the U.K., and is close to reaching a deal with the European Union.
Bloomberg's Tom Busby reports the Dow finishes the day up more than 430 points. Money reporter Jason Brooks says it's been quite the turnaround the past 2 months.
Both indexes have rallied back from the depths of early April, when the S&P was 1% away from sliding into bear territory, where the NASDAQ had already been residing on a tech sell-off in early 2025.
The new records come even after President Trump announces he is ending trade talks with Canada. It is 87 degrees in Atlanta, and we do have spotty showers around the metro area at this hour, but right now nothing severe in metro Atlanta. Will we see more scattered showers and storms through the weekend? Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. President Trump celebrates two big Supreme Court rulings today. One concerns his effort to end birthright citizenship. In a 6-3 ruling, the court decides to limit the power of district judges to issue injunctions against executive orders which cover the entire country.
It was a grave threat to democracy, frankly, and instead of merely ruling on the immediate cases before them, these judges have attempted to dictate the law for the entire nation.
This ruling does not specifically decide the fate of his executive order on birthright citizenship. Local immigration supporters say the future of birthright citizenship is in doubt following this ruling.
By limiting lower courts' ability to block executive orders nationwide, the High Court is leaving the door open to allowing the administration to end birthright citizenship, something many say is guaranteed in the 14th Amendment. Local immigration advocate Jerry Gonzalez with the Galeo Impact Fund says,
unfortunately, what this would potentially mean is that we would have babies born without a state, stateless babies, unable to claim citizenship anywhere.
In a post on social media after the court's decision, Trump called the ruling a giant win. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
And in what the president calls a win for parents, the Supreme Court rules today a Maryland school district violated the religious rights of parents by not letting their kids opt out of lessons involving LGBTQ-themed books. The ruling impacts schools nationwide. A ruling from the Supreme Court today has a direct impact on a new Georgia law. In a 6-3 ruling, the court upholds a Texas law requiring pornographic websites to verify whether their users are over the age of 18 by submitting a government-issued ID. Georgia passed a similar law last year, and it is scheduled to take effect next week. Atlanta police are searching for a man accused of forcing his way into a woman's apartment, then tying her up and robbing her.
The woman had just gotten back to her apartment on Wells Street, just off Northside Drive, when the suspect pushed his way inside her door. Atlanta police say that's when he tied her hands and ankles with zip ties, then stole jewelry and a camera and fled from the scene. The woman wasn't injured. Police haven't released the value of those stolen items. Investigators are hoping someone from the public will come forward with info on the suspect. They're asking any witnesses to call Atlanta Crime Stoppers. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
2 illegal immigrants are charged with assaulting and resisting federal law enforcement officers in North Georgia.
And that is because our office has no tolerance, none, for assaults on federal law enforcement.
U.S. Attorney Theodore Hertzberg says one of the men shoved a deportation officer into the road when he pulled him over in Commerce. In a separate incident, a man resisted arrest after he was spotted leaving his home in Roswell. A worker is shocked at a job site in Atlanta today after coming into contact with live power lines.
The man sustained third-degree burns, but he is alert and breathing.
Atlanta Fire Rescue spokesman Andre Holmes says it happened at a 3-story mixed-use facility under construction on Lindsay Street. The worker on a 35-foot scaffold accidentally hit the lines. It is now 5:04. The Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple team traffic starts with Alex Williams.
Refreshing that ride to the northern suburbs, Bill, starting on 85 northbound out of DeKalb up into Gwinnett County. Brake lights find you right at Chamblee Tucker Road, passing I-285 Spaghetti Junction. Then it's just a sluggish ride this Friday afternoon up into Norcross to Indian Trail Road. Secondary slow zone starts at Sugarloaf Parkway, but breaks free once you get up to the 985 split. 400 northbound had that earlier trouble up in Roswell before Mansell Road, exit number 8. That is totally cleared off to the side. No lanes are blocked there. That is the good news, but I am seeing some rain in that area, so use extra caution on the wet pavement. Watching the ride on I-75 northwest of town, it's Kobe Dawkins.
At 75 northbound, you begin to get slow before the South 120 loop getting to Highway 92 in Ackworth, and also spotting trouble heading south in Bartow County. 75 southbound before Cassville White Road, exit 296. It's a crash. It blocks 2 right lanes. You can avoid the delays by taking Highway 41 as an alternate. From the Corey Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of Atlanta. Here's Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz.
Scattered storms into the evening, drying up overnight, and Saturday morning starts at 72. Afternoon storms and 90 degrees on Saturday, and about the same Sunday. We'll hit 91 with dry hours early and scattered showers and storms developing. For Monday, low 73, high 91, mostly cloudy with afternoon storms again. And my 5-day forecast for Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday likely to have the most widespread wet weather. Put that rain chance up at 80%, high 87. And then Wednesday, scattered storms, 60% chance of rain, high 88.
No severe storms right now in metro Atlanta. Storm Tracker radar, though, does show some heavy rain showers around the metro area at this hour. It's 87 in Sandy Springs, 89 in Union City, 88 in Scottdale. More news at 5:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 3 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. You know, I just noticed looking, this is a little thing about you might want to, if you ever watch CNN with the sound down, which I do for 4 hours a day when I'm here, and Jake Tapper's on. When Jake Tapper is talking to somebody and the other person's talking, and then just have a shot on Jake Tapper, he does this thing where he cocks his head the way that a lost dog ponders a road sign. You know, like, huh?
Is it worse than Tucker Carlson with the spit wad? Remember
He
when he
just
used to
stares with his mouth open a little bit.
He does do the mouth open thing, and he does get a lot of the spit wad thing, which, by the way, I've gotten better at over the years. Remember when you first met me? I was all like,
oh, you were Spaghetti Strands.
I was Spaghetti Strands.
You had that Ted Cruz spittle on your lip.
That wasn't spittle. It came out of his nose, unless there's spittle that comes out of your nose.
Remember, anytime you watch Jake Tapper, though.
It's literally our job, demanding facts and answers instead of just facts.
Well, you're only 70.
The president's word for it.
Thank God you found out at this point. How old is he? He's not 70.
Not
He's like
70.
52 or something. He makes $7 million a year.
Wow. For doing nothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a lot of work. You know, you got
56.
What's that?
56.
56. Plenty more. They're all. I think this is why he wrote this book and why he's changing his brand. I think everybody at CNN knows that very soon it's going to be you're taking a huge cut, like from $7 million to $500,000, or you're moving on. I think that's going to happen to CNN very soon. They can't. They've got these people. They already moved Wolf to 10 in the morning and probably cut his pay.
Well, they gave him a co-host too that he didn't want.
Yeah, because he's a misogynist. Doesn't like the ladies. Hey, look who's here. George Stein. He likes everybody, and he'll fight for your rights, damn it. Your hair looks fantastic. You got a new pen? What did that
I do,
cost?
yes.
$1,000?
No,
A $1,000 pen? What is that?
This is around $6,000. Not-
6,000?
No, 600.
Oh, okay. Oh, I like the way it's only $600 for a pen.
There's Greek runes around there.
Oh my gosh, it's got some weight to it too. This is nice, George.
Okay, so tell me again how much that pen costs.
$600.
That's the ugliest pen I've ever seen in
No,
my
it's
life. I just wanted to be the person who said that.
No, you got to be like, you know what? That's not, I'll take it off your hands for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Just because you don't want to be seen with that.
Yeah, and then Autumn would take it down to a pawn shop, and then the guy would be like, "A pen? You're gonna try to pawn a pen?
$50.
Yeah.
Who needs a $600 pen? And go
Sell
to
it back to George.
Oh, okay. I like that.
If you want to see this pen again, you better send me $300.
Yeah, the last one I left in a security tray at the airport.
No, I know. That's the thing is, I used to spend a lot of money on sunglasses. I wanted really expensive, cool sunglasses. And then after I just misplaced and walked away from 2 of them, I was like, you know what? $20 sunglasses don't look bad. They actually look pretty good. They break, and then you have to buy another $20 pair. It's fine. Does it really? Does it feel better? Is it like when you're using the $600 pen? Does it feel like better?
It
like
does. Yeah, it's got some
smoother?
weight to it. Jared felt it. It's got some.
It's got some weight.
Sterling silver accoutrements attached to it.
Oh, that's a good feel.
Well,
I'm going to write with it.
Just because Jared felt it doesn't mean you're going to get any more out of him. Yeah. I've learned that. All right, listen, George
Mother of
Stein.
Pearl.
Mother of Pearl. I thought you were calling me a name.
Isn't that mother of pearl or is it gold?
We ought to get to some law stuff because the Supreme Court just had a Supreme Court dump.
A Supreme dump, as
They
Autumn
dumped-
called it.
They dumped a bunch of.
That's right.
Is this their last day until October?
I think it might be.
Yeah.
yes.
So they're just like, hey, let's get these things out of the way. So the big one now, we talked about this a little bit earlier. Maybe you can expand on it. So the one that there's a couple that people are talking about, but the really big one is the limits on nationwide universal injunctions from lower court judges while a case kind of makes its way up to the Supreme Court. So the Trump administration will sign an executive order, and then a lower court will find, hey, there's some cause here and some reason to believe that the people who are suing could win this, so let's just keep everything status quo until we resolve this case. And that's been a way for judges to kind of stop a lot of what Trump is doing. Supreme Court 6-3 ruling today said no, they can't stop. They can't have injunctions that are nationwide. Now, a lot of people think that they ruled on birthright citizenship, which was the case.
No, they didn't.
But they didn't.
They did not.
They ruled on the process.
So it's clear that for the birthright citizenship, that needs to take the normal appellate process and get vetted there. Okay.
Yeah.
This just says that a judge in Oregon can't set a national policy.
Right. Well, I think it comes from, it goes way back to the Congress over the last 35, 40 years not wanting to do their jobs, letting the president. So now we have presidents who rule based on executive orders. And that's what I would wonder, because I'm not a lawyerologist like you are. But what I would wonder is, do executive orders, do they have that kind of weight that judges can't push executive orders around? Because they're not laws. This is the thing I try to get across to people. Executive orders can come and go. The people who hate Obamacare have hated Obamacare since it started. Not so easy to get rid of. Why? Because it wasn't an executive order. It was a law. The Iran deal on nuclear weapons, easy to get rid of. Why? Wasn't a treaty. It didn't go through Congress. So you have this Congress that doesn't want to do anything, and presidents come in and say, you're a do-nothing Congress, so I'll do everything through executive orders. So I think, you tell me if this is brand new, but doesn't this give the executive order itself a little more standing in law than it had before this?
Well, it probably does. Executive orders take effect. In essence, they're almost like a law, but what you're basically saying, Eric, is they're not permanent. They're
not permanent. If Gavin Newsom, I got news for you. If Gavin Newsom is the next president in 2029, trans girls will suddenly be allowed to play in high school, and it'll just go back and forth based on whoever gets elected until you have a law. Then when you have a law, the people who hate it have to do really hard work to get rid of it.
Yeah. I mean, the advantage of executive orders is there's a certain sense of immediacy to it versus Congress debating about it for 5 years.
Yeah, I think judges kind of thought these executive orders, we can push these around. I feel like this gives it a little more weight.
Yeah.
And in a country where the Congress just does not want to do anything at all, I mean, witness like every year, oh, the government's going to shut down. Why is that? Why is the government going to shut down if we don't raise the ceiling? Oh, because you didn't do your job for yet another year. That's what it is.
Because we need this bridge in Tallulah. That's why we need it.
I'm not a fan of ruling by executive order, but I can't just blame Trump for that. You got to blame Congresses that gave up their power. I've been reading the Constitution lately, and this is the one thing you walk away from. Congress ain't doing anything. They have a lot of power. They're not using it because they're afraid to lose. They'll lose the next election if they take a stand on anything.
Did it start with Clinton?
Huh? I don't know where it started. But it's been going on for 30, 35 years. Probably Clinton. Why not? Blame him.
With this ruling today on this one, isn't it going to fast track things to the Supreme Court if there's a questionable executive order? Because now that the lower courts can't say anything and there's a controversial executive order that comes out from whoever the president is, isn't that just going to put more pressure on the Supreme Court in the future?
Well, I don't think it can go to the Supreme Court immediately. It has to go through the normal judicial process.
It's still okay.
The appellate process too.
And it's the Chief Justice who has to decide something's fast tracked. I believe that it's not a matter of like he goes, oh, we need to like, for instance, when we didn't know who the president was after the 2000 election. Yeah. Like they're like, hey, we can't let this meander its way through. We need to get this one done by January 20th. So they decide to fast track it. Another one, very quickly here, is a decision, another 6-3 ruling that parents can opt out, get their kids out of class if they find out there's LGBTQ curriculum going on, books, things like that. Here's my thing about this. I know people want me to get into the culture war, which I refuse to because I'm not into it. As a parent of a child, can't you just take your kid out of school anytime you want to?
Yeah.
I mean,
there's no requirement. You can change schools.
You can change schools. You could do a bunch of different things. So this doesn't really surprise me all that much. I think if you don't like the fact that they're telling your kid 2 + 2 = 4, get them out. You have the right.
I hate math.
I see this one as a little bit less, and who cares?
Yeah.
Well, in the future, there are going to be classes where it's like, oh, well, this is the LGBTQIA+ class, and this is the non-LGBTQTI class. Like, there might be selections.
Hey, you know what? This is what I say. I'm rooting for everybody, but so long as the schools aren't teaching our kids how to read, write, and do arithmetic, can we get those things down first? We shouldn't even be having these. We should all be outraged that schools just pass. Has anybody noticed? Just pass everyone. Has anybody noticed? Alex Williams is checking the ride around 285.
Been a little wet and rainy over on the west side where we just had all lanes blocked and reopened near the airport. 285 southbound, the outer loop just below Camp Creek Parkway, exit 2. Everything back open there. So that should help out the ride. Leaving Highway 166 Langford Parkway. Up on the north side, 285 westbound, you slow right at Ashford Dunwoody Road over to Roswell Road. Brake lights find you again. Approaching I-75 in the Truist Park region. It stays sluggish southbound through Smyrna Vinings. And on the southeast leg of the perimeter, 285 east and northbound, I'm seeing on and off delays starting at I-675 up to I-20, the East Freeway. Speaking of, how is I-285, the inner loop on the east side? Kobe Dawkins.
Well, 285 east to south, seeing brake lights starting at Ashford Dunwoody Road to Highway 78 in Clarkston. And this report is sponsored by the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. The 2025 FIFA Club World Cup is coming to Atlanta. Get ready for a global soccer showdown at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Don't just watch history, be there. Get tickets at FIFA.com/tickets. From the Corey Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
What would you do with $1,000 this summer?
Hotel, pool, week at the beach, cabin in the woods.
Whatever you want to do this summer,
WSB has $1,000 to make it happen.
$1,000 Thursdays gives you the chance to win $1,000 every hour between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m.
Listen for the keyword at 9, 10, and 11 a.m. and 12, 1, 2, and 3 p.m.
Enter the keyword at WSBradio.com or on the WSB app. Within that hour,
you could win $1,000. Get all the info at WSBradio.com.
$1,000 Thursdays.
Next Thursday from 95.5 WSB, where Atlanta wins.
You know, I've had listeners, coworkers, friends come up and ask me, hey, Aram, what makes Advanced Hair Restoration different? Well, allow me to share, along with some details on, get this, their once-a-year summer savings event. First off, Advanced Hair stands by the results, and their before and afters are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge-quality experience that's hard to find elsewhere. Finally, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. Quick, simple, and easy. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for the savings special opportunity, it's here, friends. Advanced Hair Summer Savings Event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details and to schedule your free consultation, call 770-660-HAIR. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair guaranteed to grow. 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Know your rights before you're stopped. Print your free DUI rights card at georgestein.com.
Buying a car shouldn't be a mystery. Hi, I'm Stacey Ellis, Vice President of the Jim Ellis Automotive Group. At Jim Ellis, we believe in complete transparency because you deserve to know exactly what you're getting. That's why we show you all the numbers, no hidden fees, no surprises. We explain every option clearly so you can make the right decision with confidence. And if you ever have questions, we have answers. Our team is here to guide you, making sure you're informed and in control every step of the way. At Jim Ellis Automotive, we don't want to sell you just any car. We want to help you buy the right car, because doing the right thing for you is what matters most to us. Experience car buying the way it should be. Honest, straightforward, and built around you. And don't forget, Jim Ellis buys cars too. It's the safe and easy way to get maximum value for your car. To get started, visit one of our 21 convenient locations across Metro Atlanta or shop online at jimellis.com. The quick, easy, and convenient way to search and compare more than 5,500 cars, trucks, and SUVs. Jim Ellis Automotive, where you can always expect the best.
Summer is peak hosting season, right? Don't let a grimy house keep you from having company over. It's Chris Chandler, and Wise Guys Pro Wash got my place clean and bright and guest ready in just one day. They handle everything, house and deck, driveway, even my dirty roof, and their soft wash kept everything safe. No paint peel, no damage, just clean. If you got people coming over this summer, be sure Wise Guys Pro Wash comes by first. Mention me, Chris Chandler, for $70 off at wiseguysprowash.com. Book now before they fill up.
What was that, Eric?
There's no need. I was just gonna be like an avalanche of vulgarity. I thought that would be funny. Before we went right on, I was just gonna let it go. But then George is like, no, we're back. Sorry, can't do that. So the avalanche of vulgarity will have to wait for the next break. Stick around, George. You're going to love it. All right, so the other thing the Supreme Court just dumped out today, the third case out of 5, I believe. This is the big one. This is the one Tim Andrews was worried about. Free Speech Coalition versus Paxton. That would be, I think,
Ken Paxton?
I think it would be the lieutenant governor.
Bill Paxton.
No, is that his name? Ken Paxton?
From Texas.
From Texas, yeah. Is he the lieutenant governor or the attorney general?
I think he wants to run for Senate.
Or governor. I don't know. I don't live in Texas.
He's going to challenge the rhino.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Shut up. Nobody cares. If you're from Texas, I just want to let you know, if you're from Texas, nobody ever told you this. Nobody's interested in the size of the population of your state. Nobody. So this one says that age verification for porn sites has been upheld. So the court upheld Texas's law requiring online pornography sites to verify users' ages, applying immediate scrutiny. Meaning, what does that mean? It has to happen quickly, right now?
Yes.
So, I don't know. This is a cultural and a legal thing. Culturally, yes, I think adults should be worried about what kids are seeing online. I absolutely do. I don't have a problem necessarily with this, except to say, do I think it's going to work? No, absolutely not. I think kids are still going to find it, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I mean, they are going to find it, but the courts tend to be protective of young people.
They should.
And they did a balancing act. They were weighing the First Amendment rights of adults having to, take these steps versus protecting children from salacious, type material. And so the kids won.
Yay! I don't know if they'd see it that way. If kids are dumb, so they're not necessarily know when they've won. From the adult point of view, I think the worry is, that as more data is breached and all this stuff, if you have to show a credit card for where you've been, this is a profile that can be used against you, maybe in a divorce court somewhere. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
You're now going on the record. But I think if there's too much of that, will be a bunch of pop-up sites, and you know how the internet is. I mean, people will start going back to file transfers and the Onion router or whatever.
It takes work.
Yeah.
Life finds a way.
It takes work, but does every adult want to use the credit card that their wife sees the statement on to sign up for RedTube?
Yeah,
but as long as it says like video game,
Yeah,
or like cell phone.
It'll put the
plan.
company that owns it. The name, I always forget the name. It's
Well,
some
sometimes
weird name.
on purpose they will change those names,
Yeah.
so that they don't sound porny.
So, and you can't be surprised if a porn site gets hacked and all the information gets released.
Well, that's right.
It's ALO. ALO is the name of the company.
ALO?
That owns Pornhub, which Pornhub has already stopped operating in Texas, assuming that this was going to come down. So
Right.
now it's definitely.
And there are
coming.
other states, right? Utah has this as well. I guess it wasn't challenged, didn't go to the Supreme Court or something, but other states are doing it.
I wonder how people are going to feel though, because ALO is a Canadian company as well too, and we don't like Canada right now.
Trump, what are you doing? What are you doing?
400% tariffs. They're just really screwing us on these digital tax things.
Did he just put 400% tariff on Canada?
I don't know how much it was, but he shut down the trade negotiations.
They will
today.
let them know in the next 7 days what the exact
Thank
tariff
you for
amount's gonna be.
your attention in this matter.
Alex Williams says there are brake lights on I-20 into Lithia Springs.
Watching the delays right now on I-20 westbound as you leave I-285, the west side perimeter, trying to make the ride out past Six Flags into Lithia Springs. It's a slow ride until you get past Thornton Road and Lee Road exit 41. Some eastbound delays also leaving Fulton Industrial Boulevard, trying to make your way into downtown, into Cobb County, 20 east and west. Little sluggish both ways through the work zone between 285 and Lithonia. And Hero about to move a stall off to the right into downtown, I-20 westbound at Boulevard exit number 59. He's holding all lanes right now to push that off to the right. Speaking of downtown, how are we looking through the heart of the city? Kobe Dawkins.
Well, 75-85 northbound, you remain jammed beginning at Langford Parkway, getting past Peachtree Pine Street. Southbound rides, heavy brake lights beginning before the downtown merge, getting to I-20. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a Reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any system maker or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
The guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate's the easiest way to sell your home. You can save time, make the most money, and eliminate all the hassle this summer. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
The cost of mesothelioma treatments can exceed $400,000, and families often face losing their homes and life savings just to pay the bill. The Rights and Claims Department of Flint Cooper has helped victims secure financial support they need to pay for their care and ensure their family's future. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma and don't have legal representation, call Flint Cooper now at 800-606-8169. Time is running out for you to file a claim, so don't wait. Call 800-606-8169 for a free consultation.
Take your summer celebration to the next level with a Bullfrog hot tub from Brown's Pools and Spas. Entertain and enjoy your yard with your family like never before. Only Bullfrog offers the Jetpack Therapy System, allowing you to customize each seat to fit every body in your family. Shop our Independence Day hot tub sale now. Instant rebates up to $1,500 or special financing for up to 120 months. Offer ends July 7th. Celebrating over 50 years of BrownsPools.com.
Moving is supposed to be exciting, but let's be honest, it usually turns into a juggling act. Sell one house, buy another, try not to lose your mind. That's where Orchard comes in. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler. Orchard flips the process. Instead of waiting for your current home to sell, Orchard gives you cash up front so you can buy your next place first, settle in, and breathe a little. While you're unpacking, Orchard is busy getting your old home ready, handling repairs, staging, even upgrades to help it sell for top dollar. And when it does, you get that extra cash too. So yeah, one payday when you buy, another when you sell. It's not magic, it's just smart real estate. No stress, no awkward timing, no crashing in your aunt's guest room for a month. Start with a free home valuation at Orchard.com. 2 paydays, 1 move, 0 chaos. That's Orchard.
Tomorrow on the Nightcap with Jerry Yamamoto, I know a record number of Georgians will be traveling next week for the 4th of July. With that, the cost of travel and the average cookout cost has skyrocketed. This is ridiculous. I'll share some of the hacks and tips I've seen to keep that cost down and cover the latest news of the night tomorrow night from 11 to midnight on my Nightcap. Brought to you by Guardian Home Experts, Heating, Air, and Plumbing.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 5:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News is sponsored by D. Geller & Son Jewelers. Our top story, the Supreme Court gives President Trump a big win on executive power.
The Supreme Court has delivered a monumental victory for the Constitution, the separation of powers, and the rule of law.
The court's ruling limits the ability of district judges to issue nationwide injunctions related to the president's executive order to end birthright citizenship. Local immigration advocates like Jerry Gonzalez says there is reason for concern.
I think it's going to create a significant amount of chaos around the country.
He says today's ruling leaves the door open to allowing the administration to end birthright citizenship, although this decision does not specifically address the issue. It is 90 degrees in Atlanta. Some heavy showers, though, in some parts of the metro area right now, including North Fulton, Cherokee, Forsyth counties, but nothing severe at the moment in metro Atlanta. You may be dodging scattered showers and storms all weekend. In fact, Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. Now, WSB Money Update. Stocks soared to new record highs.
Investors celebrated trade developments and economic readings by lifting the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ to all-time highs, bouncing back from the depths of bear market territory in early April when tariffs rattled the market. The Dow rallied higher by 432 points to 43,819.
Money reporter Jason Brooks says today's news comes even after President Trump abruptly ends all trade talks with Canada. A new report details the amount of dangerous chemicals in our waterways, including the Chattahoochee River.
The report finds elevated levels of PFAS, or forever chemicals, in 98% of waterways tested for the study from the Waterkeeper Alliance. Chattahoochee Riverkeeper Executive Director Jason Alcest says they tested upstream and downstream and found them everywhere.
We're looking for the sources of these PFAS, where the hot spots are, so that we can kind of isolate those and focus our attention where the highest levels are.
The compounds have been linked to negative health effects. The report calls for more monitoring and treatment of waterways. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
A Waleska man gets life in prison for shaking a baby to death.
The mother of 1-year-old Jamie Marco Palacio is already facing 20 years in prison for the death of her son, who was left in the care of her boyfriend.
The evidence was that it was known and did become known to her that this child was suffering injuries and that she continued to leave him in the care of Gregory Davis.
This week, a Cherokee County judge handed down a life sentence to Davis, plus 60 years after Cherokee County jury found Davis guilty of malice murder, felony murder, and cruelty to children. Daphne Young, 95.5 WSB.
The jury in Sean Diddy Combs' sex crimes trial in New York City will begin deliberations on Monday. The defense gave its closing arguments today, with the prosecution giving its rebuttal. Combs faces charges of racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He's pleaded not guilty. A new warning labels will be on mRNA COVID vaccines.
The FDA is requiring the warning labels on the vaccines be updated to include two possible side effects that could impact the heart: inflammation of the heart muscle and inflammation of the thin sac surrounding the heart. The updated warning labels will now state the conditions have been most commonly seen among boys ages 12 and older and young men as old as 24.
WSB Health reporter Sabrina Cupid says according to the Atlanta-based CDC, only a very small number of people have experienced the side effects after receiving the shot. More than 700 kids from across Metro Atlanta take part in the annual At Promise Field Day today at the Atlanta Public Safety Training Center. Erica Collins with the Atlanta Police Foundation says it gives the city's youth the chance to build relationships with those that serve the communities.
With them being engaged with them and being in an atmosphere where the young people are comfortable, where they're playing games, it's going to be very important for the young people and the law enforcement to connect here to where when they leave this place, it'll be more safe.
She says many participants end up considering future careers in law enforcement. It's now 5:34. Time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. And Triple Team Traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Watching some brake lights toward Gwinnett County still. Had a crash clear off to the right, 85 northbound past Jimmy Carter Boulevard, exit 99. Still seeing the brake lights back to Chamblee Tucker. Once you get past that, you'll jam up again towards Swanee from starting just before Sugarloaf Parkway north of 316 as you approach the I-985 split 400 north and southbound. A little sluggish where we've had some rain between Sandy Springs and Alpharetta. How's I-75 northwest of town, Kobe Dawkins?
75 northbound, you remain slow starting before the North 120 loop, getting to Highway 92 in Ackworth, and trouble remains in Bartow County. 75 southbound before Cassville White Road, exit 296. That crash continues to knock out two right lanes, seeing delays back to Highway 140 Folsom Road. You can avoid the delays by taking Highway 41 as an alternate. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz.
Scattered storms into the evening, drying up overnight, and Saturday morning starts at 72. Afternoon storms and 90 degrees on Saturday, and about the same Sunday. We'll hit 91 with dry hours early and scattered showers and storms developing. For Monday, low 73, high 91, mostly cloudy with afternoon storms again. And my 5-day forecast for Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday likely to have the most widespread wet weather. Put that rain chance up at 80%, high 87. And then Wednesday, scattered storms, 60% chance of rain, high 88.
And just in, we now have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Forsyth County. There's some heavy rain right now falling in the Lake Lanier area, and that has resulted in a severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Forsyth County. And Storm Tracker radar shows most of the heavy rain activity on the north side of the metro area at this hour. Right now, 94 in Norcross, 80 in Cartersville, 92 in McDonough. More news at 6 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Steel Horse Law are 100% local. Get your free Rider's Advantage card at steelhorselaw.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Private Selection Angus 80% lean ground chuck is on sale. 16-ounce packages are $5.49 each with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Where's that avalanche?
I forgot to swear. But I still have till 7 p.m., so.
I'm waiting for that avalanche of vulgarity.
I want to get to the Diddy situation because the defense has rested. Is the trial over, or now does the prosecution come back for one last?
Yeah, I mean, the trial...
Prosecution speaks last, right? It's prosecution, defense, then prosecution.
Right. The prosecution goes first, then defense, typically, and then the prosecution does rebuttal, typically.
Yeah. And then after that, it's done.
Yes.
So that's basically where we are. The prosecution can decide to do their rebuttal. We'll get to that in 1 second. I do want to say that one of the other cases that the Supreme Court, they saved the Obama phone.
Yay.
So the Universal Service Fund fee, that was another one people were saying that it was an unfair tax or an unconstitutional tax because we all pay extra in our cell phone bills so that people who are too poor to have phones get the Obama phone. And is his face on it? Is that?
It
that
is
is a Trump phone.
It's shaped like him.
Trump phone is going to cost.
Well, mine's very beautiful and made right here in the U.S.
No, it's not. No, it's assembled in the U.S. It's not made in the U.S.
I love the price of his, too. It's $45.47.
There you go.
A month.
So, so that's that. And Obamacare, and then the other one was Appointments Clause. Task Force remains free to issue preventive health service guidance without structural changes. Those last two are probably Trump didn't want. And the first three he did want. But I do want to get to Diddy and this trial. It seems to me, now I don't know, George. My prediction is whatever the lowest level of guilt is here, that's what he's going to get. I haven't followed it enough to see if he can be exonerated or or just found not guilty of all of these things. But I'm not. I said weeks ago, I'm just not seeing it. This looks like a lot of consensual stuff to me. And domestic violence wasn't even in there. We know that he's guilty of that because we saw the tape from the hotel. So you've been looking at this thing, I'm sure, a little bit. What do you think?
Well, I mean, listen, the state has a very tall burden. They have to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, and that takes an awful lot of evidence and good evidence. There's evidence, there's quality evidence, Eric, and then there's just plain old evidence that ain't so good.
Spinning your wheels.
That's right.
You're just tossing it up there just to kind of overwhelm the jury, right?
So a telltale sign that perhaps the state did not meet their burden of guilt beyond a reasonable doubt is when the defense doesn't put up a defense.
They put up none, right?
None, and Diddy didn't take the stand either. So that sort of smacks and smells of the state might be in trouble here, at least on the more serious charges.
Well, we're seeing a lot of this in the last few years. I mean, the Trump thing in Atlanta didn't go anywhere because he got elected.
Young Thug.
Young Thug. This whole thing of using RICO in situations that it just doesn't apply to. Like, find something they did wrong and take them to court for that. Prosecute them for that. It just seems like a lot of prosecutors who want these big cases will just go, yeah, but if we add a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and he drove over a state line, to pay the bill, so let's throw that in. Sure. And juries are human beings. They go, well, it's not making sense to me. It might make sense in your book, but it just, to me, this doesn't sound like I'm safer if this person is put in jail, right?
Yeah, I mean, the state tends to throw the kitchen sink at defendants. They want to have multiple charges, and it's sort of spectacular PR sort of stuff.
Yeah, they win the PR war because everybody was convinced this guy was guilty of this stuff.
Right, but if the jury's still, at the end of the day, at the end of the evidence, is still scratching their head and going, okay, where's the quality evidence?
Yeah. What exactly happened here?
I mean, if you have a lot of women complaining and getting on the stand and testifying a certain way about these parties, and then there's also evidence of that there's texts where they said, when's the next party?
Yeah, when's that next horrible thing that it says ruining my life? When do you? I'll be the first one there. It just doesn't make any. Give it to the judge. He allowed all of this evidence in, unlike some of this other stuff, like the judge in the Trump sexual assault case would not let in the evidence that she posted at one point in like 2010 or 2012, about to pour myself a glass of wine and watch my favorite show, The Apprentice. I'm sorry, if I'm a jury member, call me names if you want to. I don't think that your favorite show is ever going to be hosted by somebody who assaulted you, whether you're a man or a woman. I just don't think. And the judge said, no, the jury can't see that. So this judge obviously let the jury see both sides.
Yes.
And I don't think there's much of a case here, but maybe he'll go to jail forever. How long has he been in jail? Like a year and a half? Probably.
Something like that. But, the jury's probably going to come back next week. So we'll see. Especially if they come back quickly, then that's another telltale sign.
But it's quite possible if they get him on some sort of lesser stuff that maybe it's time served.
Yeah, credit for time served.
Possible.
Release and put him on probation.
My prediction is less than 10 years.
Yeah, it's going to be. I think so. That's an easy one.
But there's no
My
charges
question
of
is,
abuse,
will
right?
he stay? I thought that the domestic violence thing was in there. George, look it up. I'm reading now, and I don't see a domestic violence charge. That's what he's guilty of. given the tape that we saw, or tape, whatever, the recording that we saw, the video.
The video, yes.
But then he paid her off, and then she never pressed charges against him. So
Yeah, well, those pay off NDA day. What's
Yeah.
going on with the non-disclosures? They just don't seem to. Although Bill Cosby's out now because the first judge.
Well, that was because
threw out an
because
NDA.
the DA made an agreement,
Right.
promise not to prosecute in exchange for some civil depositions.
And you're correct. No domestic violence.
Okay, so and now maybe he can go back to court after that because it wouldn't be double jeopardy because he would not have been taken to court for it at all. But this is another. We'll see. Maybe he goes to jail forever. I don't know, but I just don't see it. And if this is another one of these cases where big celebrity, big name, and then the prosecution just can't get the job done, then it's time for these lawyers and prosecutors. I don't know. You guys have some sort of conference somewhere, but I mean, it's time to say, listen, this RICO statute, is that what is? Are they using the RICO in?
I believe they are.
Look that up again, George, because I don't want to be wrong. But these elaborate cases that are put together, maybe not so much of that in the future. Maybe we find one crime that we feel this person did and just do our best at proving it.
Yeah. Well, if Diddy's found not guilty, can you imagine the after party?
Oh, that's going to be sick. Oh, it's going to be awesome.
No clothes.
I'd invite the judge.
And baby oil everywhere.
Yeah.
Is it RICO?
Yes, it is RICO.
Yeah, this is not working out for prosecutors.
RICO.
Especially in these RICO.
Yeah.
And look, I'm out of it all. Do I walk away thinking Diddy's a good guy? No, I don't.
Would you go to his party if he is found not guilty?
I wouldn't have gone.
If
to
he's
his
found
party.
not guilty.
Are you kidding me? I don't want to be at any party where I'm going to bump into anybody who's in Venice right now to watch Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. I don't know how anybody. Like I look at this. And are there really people who are following this? Like, oh, I wish I was there. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine being forced to have a conversation with the bride, groom, or any of the guests, except for Tom Brady, because I want to call him a jerk. That's it.
Who throws a better party? You think? You think the Bezoses or the Diddy's? Diddy.
Well, Bezos has a higher quality of baby oil. Diddy has more.
Better sex at Diddy's.
Yeah. You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's not going to be an orgy
You
at
think?
this.
Oh, you
don't think so?
Bezos going to
No.
break down Tom Brady and Oprah and the Bezos.
Hey, there's no phones allowed in this thing. It might get weird.
No phones.
That's true.
They're already
Yeah.
married too, so if anything weird can happen.
Is Gail King going to be there?
I don't know if
Oprah's-
she's on the list.
she
I know
better.
Oprah's there.
Wow, Oprah without Gail King.
Gail couldn't get the week off from CBS.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
She couldn't get the time off? Say,
She
hey,
didn't
go
have
cover it.
PTO.
I guess there are people who look at that and think, oh, I wish I was there. I wish I knew them. I cannot relate to that
Well,
whatsoever.
there's people that wish we had royalty.
I guess. I'd rather be
I
watching.
think that kind
yeah.
of thing is actually very much on the decline.
Yeah, I think so too, because these aren't real. Royalty is actual royalty. Like, it's kind of weird that some women in this country get all crazy about the royal family in England, but they are royalty. Whereas this guy just keeps charging you more every 6 months for your Amazon Prime.
Well, that's the other thing, right? Is that we are seeing the direct price that he puts on us as far as like, well, Prime used to be this much and now it's this much and then it's this much and then it's this much. And then, there are underpaid workers at Amazon. I'm not saying that, whether that's right or wrong, but for you to throw a $78 million wedding.
Yeah, it's
when you're-
ostentatious.
It's like, okay,
Yeah.
what are we doing? What
It's
are you
not-
doing?
it's- Well, because they're I'll tell you, I'm sure if you gave them a moment, they would explain to you why they are so very important. I'm sure they would.
What's
Yes.
crazy is we have one of the newer Alexa units in our place where it has like a digital display and has like shows like a photo album on there, and it has stopped showing the photo album because it wants us to subscribe to Alexa Plus.
Right.
And I'm just thinking, I'm like, you already get enough money from us. We have
Never
Amazon
enough.
boxes coming.
Never
but-
enough. Not that he
but
has
what is
enough.
Alexa Plus?
It's not that he has enough money. It's you still have too much money in your
Yeah.
pocket,
It's like,
and
God.
that makes him mad.
Stopping our little photo album so that way you can sign up for Alexa Plus.
Tom Brady. How many people did you screw over with your FTX endorsement? Yeah, have fun. It doesn't matter. They're the little people.
Gail King going.
Of course. Now there might be an orgy. Just kidding. Just kidding. That's humor. That's all that is. Alex Williams says rain is impacting the ride on 400.
That's right, Eric. We've seen the rain showers on 400 anywhere really between Alpharetta and Sandy Springs. So what has that done to the ride? Well, we'll tell you. 400 northbound, seeing a few brake lights in Sandy Springs from Abernathy Road up toward Northridge. Then a few more brake lights as you leave Old Milton Parkway up to Windward Parkway, although that is starting to improve. Seeing a new slow zone on 400 southbound, getting past Mansell Road, and that is where we're seeing the heavier rain and winds right now. So that's the reason for the impact on that ride. 75 northbound in Cobb County. Sluggish from South Marietta Parkway up to Chastain Road. 575 southbound. We're seeing those brake lights from Ridgewalk Parkway as you travel down into Woodstock. New trouble on 75 on the south side of town, Kobe Dawkins.
Yeah, 75 southbound right at I-285, exit 238. Crash blocks one right lane, causing some delays getting into Forest Park. And also watching slow rides leaving Locust Grove, 75 northbound, starting before Bill Gardner Parkway, getting to Jodico Road. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
When news breaks,
President Trump stands by his claims that U.S. strikes in Iran over the weekend were a complete success.
We've got it covered.
This is what a leaker is telling you the intelligence says. That's the game these people play.
with news at the top and bottom of every hour and when it breaks.
Tune in often for the latest.
We think it's over. I don't think they're going to be going back at each other.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's breaking news station.
The guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate is the easiest way to sell your home. Now you can save time and make the most money and eliminate all hassles this summer. Hey, Sean Hannity, Mark Spain Real Estate can sell your home with the strongest all-cash offer in the industry and help you move on your timeline. With over 67,000 satisfied clients, you can trust the most experienced real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home fast. Go to markspain.com and start packing.
Mom and Dad seem different after a European-style holiday on MSC Cruises.
Call us Cloud and Yvette.
The ship had restaurants, shops, and nightlife.
Ah, La Galleria.
And of course, American touches like an aqua park and a sweets shop.
American je ne sais quoi.
Mom, you're from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Kevin.
Book now and save up to 40% off, plus kids sail free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
School's out and everyone is home, so trustworthy air conditioning and cool comfort is a must. Ashley Frasca here to tell you this June, Ragsdale gives you up to $1,700 off a brand new Carrier home comfort system. Along with saving big, you'll enjoy Ragsdale's own trusted 15-year parts and labor warranty on your new Carrier system that's zero repair cost until June of 2040. For years now, Ragsdale has helped us stay comfortable, from installing a new high-efficiency system in our home and getting much-needed AC to the basement, to installing outdoor electrical outlets so we can spend more time on the back deck. Ragsdale has been the name I know you can trust for all of your plumbing, electrical, and insulation needs. And they're a great company to work for. Many employees have been at Ragsdale for 10, 20, even 30 years, so you know you're getting valuable experience and expertise in your home. Schedule your next visit online at ragsdaleair.com or give one of their many friendly customer service reps a call now. Ragsdale, the name I know you can trust.
You spend thousands of dollars, you waste weekends, and in a few years, you're back to square one because paint simply does not last.
RhinoShield, it's not paint. It's a high-tech ceramic coating system that protects your home from harsh weather and anything else that Mother Nature throws at it.
No chipping, flaking, or peeling, just decades of defense with RhinoShield, backed by a 25-year transferable warranty. Why keep throwing money at paint that just won't last?
RhinoShield is the answer. Go to RhinoShieldGA.com for your free evaluation.
All right, Jared Yamamoto. I believe that you said there was a couple of stories, law-wise. Give us the two that you are pitching here, and we'll choose one.
All right, Gavin Newsom is suing Fox News for $787 million. He's alleging the network falsely claimed that he lied about the Trump call.
This is kind of a thing, I guess, it's kind of a thing where, because Trump has been winning these cases, or still got one against CBS. He won one against ABC. So I guess now Newsom is just,
it's over a phone call that supposedly he had with Trump or didn't have with Trump.
Yeah, well, Jesse Waters said that he lied about the phone call when he said Trump didn't call him. And then Trump showed the logs, but Newsom is saying that they edited it in such a way to make it look like he lied when he didn't lie. The thing you have to know is Newsom said if I get an apology from Jesse Waters, I'll drop it.
Yeah,
$783 million versus an apology?
Yeah, that speaks to the strength of his case.
Yes, I think that's what he just wants, an apology from Jesse Waters. And who doesn't?
Who is Jesse Waters?
Bill O'Reilly wants an apology from Jesse Waters.
For taking his job?
Yeah. Well, I didn't need it really. It was Tucker.
What did Bill do
First
wrong?
there was Tucker. And I got handsy or something.
Oh, he did?
I don't know. You know how Fox
He did it
News-
live?
Yeah, it was I think, Fox News was like an ongoing tailhook convention for a few years, apparently. The ladies would walk down the hall and they'd be all handsy.
Oh.
I grab them. Hey, you want your own show?
Oh, that's Gretchen Carlson kind of got screwed over by that Roger Ailes, right?
Well, she got a lot of money.
Yeah, because he was.
What happens then if you get $60 million, like, or whatever you get, whatever she got, like 20 years later, you're like, yeah, I'm glad that guy was a jerk. I made a lot of money.
Thank God.
I mean,
I'm
there's
traumatized.
there's some areas where it will never, like if you lose a child and you get paid because there was recklessness, you're never going to feel like that, right?
Yeah.
But Gretchen Charles just said, they didn't give me jobs because of this, that, or the other thing. You might 20 years later go, I'm glad that Roger Ailes is kind of a jerk to me. I ended up with $60 million or whatever it is she got. What's the other one?
In-N-Out Burger is suing a YouTube influencer who it says posed as an employee in one of their restaurants.
Is this here locally or?
This is not locally.
Okay.
This is YouTube personality Brian Arnett.
Can we get a law that just outlaws YouTube influencers?
Yeah. I mean,
In favor of TikTok influencers?
No influencers.
I don't think
except for
so.
Eric Von Haessler, the Von Haessler doctrine.
They're not
we are
gonna-
grandfathered in.
They're not going to outlaw YouTube, but
Yeah.
this guy apparently dressed like an employee
Yeah.
and said certain things like there's cockroaches and condoms in the
yes,
burgers.
Right.
So he
Doing a
said
bit,
negative
yeah.
things, and now the corporation's mad about it.
I can't understand why. Well, here's the thing about influencers is they get big because of, usually something will go viral. It's not the first thing they've done. They've been doing things for a while, and they do something that makes a splash. It goes viral, and it's probably a little bit extreme, and then they want to stay there. And then in order to stay there, it's like 2 or 3 times a week, you got to be thinking of these extreme things that you can do. You got to always top yourself the last time, whatever. And so it ends up with these influencers are just making idiots out of themselves all over the place.
This guy.
I mean, I don't like violence. I'm not a violent person. But when you see these YouTube videos where like some influencer's trying to do some sketch on the street and some guy just goes, pow. Okay, yeah. That's how you learn in this life.
This guy, after reading about what he was doing, I know that Impractical Jokers does the exact same thing in a Raising Cane's. Now, Raising Cane's is obviously in on it,
Right.
but after reading what he was doing and kind of like looking into it, it's exactly what they were doing on their True TV show.
There's great smash videos, smash up video, what do you call it, and put them all together.
Mashup,
Mash up videos where basically like there's one of the influencers just jumping out of the bushes to scare people. And he comes on with there's this kid who's not all there, has a problem. And it's just all of a sudden the kid just starts crying and the influencer's like, hey, whoa, wait. Like, I don't know why. I just enjoy watching influencers get their comeuppance. Although I wish no violence upon anybody. George Stein, let people know how they can get more George Stein.
Yes, in your time of need, if you want a quality lawyer, remember this: we've mastered the art
Are you
of
going
two
through
things.
puberty or something? What's going on here?
Sorry, I've been on a jet. If you want a quality lawyer, we've mastered the art of two things. There's my voice is back.
Yes.
We do motorcycle accidents. We specialize in that. Go to steelhorselaw.com. And, of course, if you get a DUI, go to georgestein.com.
Thank you, George Stein. Alex Williams says there's a crash on 75 by the airport.
That is correct, Eric. We see it on the jam cam. It's in the right lane, 75 southbound, right at I-285, exit 238 there in Clayton County. Fire department just showed up. Now they're blocking the beginning of that ramp that takes you from 75 south to 285 eastbound, the outer loop, so that's slowing the ride between Hapeville and Forest Park. 75 northbound, you're on the brakes out of Locust Grove from Bill Gardner Parkway, trying to make that drive up to Jodico Road. Luckily, just volume there. 85 southbound, a little bit of merging madness by the airport as well, leaving 285, but improving the closer you get toward Union City. City. How's it looking through downtown, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, 75-85 north remains slow, starting at Langford Parkway, getting past Peachtree Pine Street. 85 southbound, leaving Buckhead. Heavy delays begin at the Georgia 400 merge, getting to I-20. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Homeowners, are your windows and doors sticking, or you notice cracks in the drywall? You might have a big problem. Serious issues need the serious experts at Engineered Solutions of Georgia. Go to ESOGrepair.com.
Dial 678 ESOG now.
What is All Care? All Care is expert urgent care and primary care under a single roof, offering convenience and continuity for your healthcare needs. All Care is a team of physicians and clinicians who know you and your medical history, so they can provide the personalized care you deserve. And with both family and immediate care services offered 7 days a week, All Care means seeing your doctor on your schedule. 15 convenient locations, same-day appointments, and walk-ins welcome. Remember, urgent care plus primary care equals All Care. Learn more at allcare-ga.com.
Only inches separate you from the heavy rain trying to infiltrate your home. Dave Baker for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. If your old roof is leaking, think of Findlay first. They're the extra effort experts, making sure you have a remarkable roof replacement experience. Water inside? Worried about recent heavy rains causing damage? You'll always win with Findlay. Schedule a free roof analysis. No obligation, no charge. FindlayRoofing.com.
Mom and Dad seem different after a European-style holiday on MSC Cruises.
Call us Cloud and Yvette.
The ship had restaurants, shops, and nightlife.
La Galleria.
And of course, American touches, like an aqua park and a sweets shop.
American je ne sais quoi.
Mom, you're from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Kevin.
Book now and save up to 40% off, plus kids sail free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
It's officially time for Zero Res's annual summer sale. Take advantage and get 15% off all cleaning services. Mention Chris Chandler to secure this deal today or book online at ZeroResAtlanta.com. Zero Res. All they leave is clean.
Hi, it's Tim Andrews from the Von Haessler Doctrine, inviting you to join me for my Saturday pop culture and entertainment show, the Tim Andrews Popcast. Joining me this week is a comedian from Royston, Georgia, named Caleb Synan. He's been on the program before, but more importantly, he's a frequent guest on Conan O'Brien, and he was featured on The Last Comic Standing. He's coming to the Punchline July 3rd through the 6th, and he's a very funny guy. That's the Popcast. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on 95.5 WSB.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk. News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
At 6 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News sponsored by the Lloyd Advisory Group. Our top local story, it is happening now. Severe storms firing up in parts of the North Metro.
In the WSB Storm Center, I'm Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz. Scattered strong storms this evening with locally heavy rain, some hail embedded, and some strong wind gusts. Could take down trees, tree limbs, power lines. Those showers and storms moving slowly, generally drifting to the north.
And right now, there are severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for Cherokee and Forsyth counties, and that warning extends into Hall County. So watch out if you're in the North Metro this afternoon. Some heavy rain, severe thunderstorms in some areas. Right now, it is 90 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. Will it be a stormy weekend? Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. Now, WSB Money Update and happy days for investors. Stocks are soaring.
Fresh record highs for the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 as the Dow shot up 432 points. The NASDAQ added 105 and the S&P was up 32.
Bloomberg's Tom Busby reports this comes just over 2 months after the depths of early April when the S&P was near bear territory. The Wall Street records come even after today's tariff announcement from President Trump.
So I said we're going to stop all negotiations with Canada right now until they straighten out their act.
The president says it's due to Canada putting a digital services tax on American technology companies, which he called a direct and blatant attack on the U.S. President Trump calls it a win for America in a case involving the issue of birthright citizenship. The U.S. Supreme Court rules 6-3 today. Individual judges do not have the authority to grant nationwide injunctions. The ruling did not specifically decide the fate of the president's executive order. However, a local group believes today's ruling is a green light for the Trump administration to end birthright citizenship.
Local immigration advocates like Jerry Gonzalez, head of the Galeo Impact Fund, are sounding the alarm about the future of birthright citizenship.
Unfortunately, the Supreme Court has bended the knee to support the Trump regime in this unconstitutional act of going after newborn babies.
He says the court's ruling could lead to chaos around the country and leaves the door open for the administration to move ahead with ending birthright citizenship, something previous courts have ruled is enshrined in the 14th Amendment. Trump called the rulings a giant win. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
In a ruling that has a direct impact on Georgia, Devin Dwyer reports the Supreme Court allows states to require age verification for porn sites.
The court upheld a Texas online age verification law for adult websites, saying that it is permissible under the First Amendment for states to require individuals to upload a copy of their ID in order to see porn.
Georgia passed a similar law last year. It's scheduled to take effect next week. A developing story in DeKalb County. 4 firefighters are injured battling a fire at a townhome complex in DeKalb. 2 of them are suffering from smoke inhalation. 2 others have minor burns. All 4 taken to Grady for treatment. 3 townhomes on Shadow Walk Lane near Norcross Tucker Road are damaged. This is all new at 6 o'clock. An Atlanta family is set to sue the Sugar Factory restaurant in Midtown after a teenager was mistakenly served an alcoholic drink that her father ordered. Carice Carter was celebrating her 15th birthday and says that was ruined.
I don't really remember anything. I just remember I was crying a lot, and then the next morning I woke up sick.
The family's attorneys say they've alerted Sugar Factory to similar incidents at their restaurants before, but this just keeps happening. The girl's mother says the restaurant should use different glasses to distinguish drinks with booze from those without. A Gwinnett County woman who lost most of the use of her right hand in a shooting 2 years ago now wants the state to take action after charges against the gunman were dropped.
We knocked on the door and was immediately met with gunfire.
The Veranda Chase Apartments neighbor who fired through his door, shooting Jalen Evans Jones in her abdomen and hand, was cleared when the Gwinnett County DA's office ruled it self-defense. Jones calls that outrageous.
Verifying, checking instead of treating us like we were criminals or we did something wrong.
Gwinnett County NAACP President Edward Paul slams the decision.
District attorneys are supposed to protect the people, not belittle them, not ignore them, and certainly not silence them.
They're petitioning Governor Kemp or Attorney General Carr to reopen the case. Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
It's now 6:04. The Von Haessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, Triple Team Traffic begins with Alex Williams.
Still trying to clean up this crash down by the airport where they've been in the right lane, 75 southbound at I-285. Hero, Clayton County Fire Rescue on scene, keeping you slow from Central Avenue as you make that trek through Hateville. Also, we had a crash. Looks like it's cleared, 285 westbound, the Interloop Boulder Crest Road, exit number 51. So it's going to be all about recovery mode as you leave I-20, the East Freeway. Speaking of the East Freeway, 20 eastbound in DeKalb County, a few brake lights from Wesley Chapel out to the mall at Stonecrest. Traffic Trooper Steph tells us about a crash. We're looking for it on the Jam Cam in DeKalb County, heading up toward Norcross, 85 northbound, between I-285 and Pleasantdale Road, exit number 96. We've also been tracking some impact from the rain on 575 in Cherokee County, Kobe Dawkins.
Yeah, it's causing delays moving through Woodstock, 575 northbound and southbound from Chastain Road to Town Lake Parkway, and also some better news in Bartow County, 75 southbound before Castle White Road, exit 296. Crash has cleared, so those delays moving through Adairsville should start to improve. From the Coolray Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of Atlanta. Here's Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz.
Scattered storms into the evening, drying up overnight, and Saturday morning starts at 72. Afternoon storms and 90 degrees on Saturday, and about the same Sunday. We'll hit 91 with dry hours early and scattered showers and storms developing. For Monday, low 73, high 91, mostly cloudy with afternoon storms again. And my 5-day forecast for Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday likely to have the most widespread wet weather. Put that rain chance up at 80%, high 87. And then Wednesday, scattered storms, 60% chance of rain, high 88.
Severe thunderstorm warnings in effect right now for Cherokee and Forsyth counties. It's 91 in Cumming, 88 in Peachtree City, 89 in Doraville. More news at 6:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
That's right, Caiaccio. It is, in fact, hour 4 of the Von Haessler Doctrine, and it begins right now. I got a lot to talk about. Letting the homeless shower in your home. I'm not done with you, George.
That's very nice of you, George.
All right. If it's so nice, why don't you go pick up a couple of homeless people and bring them home for a shower tonight?
I'm not as nice as George.
Okay, so but you're not that, but you can recognize it when you see it.
Absolutely, I can I can see that George is being nice.
Thanks, Jared. Thanks.
You know who's nice? It's just this Greg Rush from Studio B1.
Oh, the nicest.
Nice as hell. Not a mean bone in his body. It's Greg Russ. Is that not true? Is that not true, Greg Russ?
I am nice.
Yeah.
I've let homeless people sleep in my bed with me.
Are you on a runway somewhere?
I think there's a plane flying
Is
overhead.
that what that was?
It's a helicopter.
Oh,
helicopter. Excuse
Are
me.
you dangling from a helicopter?
No, I'm not Tom Cruise.
All right. I've heard that before. I've heard that about you.
He's no Tom
He's
Cruise.
no Tom Cruise. This guy. All right. I have a. Before we get to the homeless showering, George let us know earlier, Greg, that he once allowed a homeless person to come back to his house and take a shower. And
Well, he said it was someone from the skate park, so I have questions too.
Okay.
Was it a straight up homeless person, or was it a person who was rebelling against their family and dabbled in some drug use and
All right, let's
just
get
had
to that.
dreads as a white person?
Okay. All right. You and I are not so
See,
far
there's that
apart.
niceness.
Yeah, that's always considerate of others.
When
That's
you
what
open up the
I would
Oxford
say.
Dictionary and you see the picture of nice, my goodness, it's Greg Russ.
It's Greg Russ. He's right there next to it. So, but I have a bone to pick with you, my friend, Greg Russ.
Me?
Yeah, Mr. Nice Guy.
What
Mr.
did
Nice
I do?
Guy. It's not what you did. It's what you promised. And when promises don't come to fruition.
What did I promise? I don't promise anything for that very reason.
Oh, now you're getting very defensive. I was told when I received a certain gift that this gift would last for years and years and years and years.
That's not my promise.
That was your promise.
And I can't help it that you're yanking on the belt because you're trying to get it to the last hole.
Are you calling me a belt yanker?
You are a belt yanker. I've seen
How
you
dare
yank
you?
belts in
That
the
was just
studio.
Belt yanker.
Yanking belts.
Yanks other people's belts.
Oh, he tugs other people's belts.
I'm a belt tugger, but I'm not a belt yanker.
You're a tugger, not a yank.
I'm a tugger, not a yanker. So
Must hurt.
comes to, well, you get used to it.
Okay.
So,
Some people are into that.
So you bought me this belt because you had the belt, and I appreciated it. And you said, I've had this belt for years and years and years. You said to me, Eric Von Hessler, you've lived a life. You've done some things. You matter. You should have a good quality belt. And I appreciated that. You know what
Yeah,
happened the
because
other
you're
day?
buying them from TJ Maxx or something.
Yeah,
or Jane was buying them for you. And I saw that belt. It was faux leather. It was layered.
Yeah.
It was going to peel.
It
This belt has
works.
a 100-year warranty. I'm going to fly down. I'm going to take care of it.
Well, so what happened is I went to put the belt on just a couple days ago, and those two screws that are in the buckle, clink. I wood floors, so it's like at first I heard a clink. What is that? Did I have something? Was there something in between my belt and my pants or something that fell? I don't know. And then all of a sudden I hear it again, clink. Those
Are
two,
you washing your belt?
No. Why would I wash my belt? Why would
He's
I wash
cinching
it?
it,
how
though.
the- how the-
He's
how the
cinching the
screws-
belt.
I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
cinching the
cinched.
belt.
You're putting too much stress on it.
Oh, it's my fault. It's not the
Yeah.
it's not the belt manufacturer. 100-year warranty. How much cinching do you think I'm doing that I didn't get a year out of it?
I think a lot.
That's crazy.
Also,
365 days of cinching.
I need to analyze it. It shouldn't have fallen apart. I'm not making excuses for that, but
Yeah,
it could maybe be fixed, and if not, it'll be replaced.
Okay, do you have the warranty? I don't know that I have like this.
You
I
didn't send it
their
in?
100-year warranty. I got the receipt from when I bought you the belt.
All right. So let's get all
Send me
of them
some
to take care of
pictures.
it. All right, I gotta go find it. I threw away the bolt, the screws.
Oh, can't return it then.
They're going to tell you to cut it in half and send a picture.
Is that how it works?
A lot of these places, yeah, if it doesn't work or it's faulty, they want you to cut it up.
Because they don't want you to get one over on them and
Yeah.
get a second belt and then be able to. I'll be like, hey, that second one, can that one be black? Because this one was brown. And they'll know.
Yeah.
They'll know what you're up to. Actually, I'm still I'm just, come on, Greg. You know how I am. I have a heart of gold. I just think it's wonderful that you gifted me a belt.
I'm disappointed.
Well, you should be
hate
because
that happened.
until you were very, really high on this belt and its quality and how long it was going to last me. I really, if you hadn't emphasized it so much, I wouldn't be so very,
Especially
very
compared to the
disappointed.
belt that you had. Was it braid? I think.
Well, you talking about the one I have on? You think the one I have on right now that's working? The one from TJ Maxx that's never caused me any trouble.
That lasts. That thing will snap.
Well, you know what happens with these is the faux leather just kind of cracks up.
Phrase.
Phrase, and it's stupid, and you have to But
in Greg's defense, you are pretty rough with things. I remember riding when you had your
in
old car.
Greg's defense,
In Greg's defense, you are pretty rough with things. I remember riding in your old car. It was
this is what my wife told the judge.
It was a stick shift, and you would, and man, the way that you were shifting gears. I mean,
he grinding them?
No, I wasn't grinding them, but I had a problem with
slamming those gears. I'm like, man,
whiplash.
be gentle to your little Subaru.
I like. Hey, listen, I had this Subaru for like 10 years.
Yeah, that
gentle.
thing ran.
That was
But why
longer
did you
than
drive
that.
it so rough like that?
That's
'Cause I like
Subaru
the-
you had
like
for
that feeling. Like,
That's not bad for the car. It's bad if you're grinding.
Not good for the clutch. To slam
Well,
it.
No. I wasn't real good at that. It was just like it would be kind of herky jerky for the people in the car.
Yeah, finding the friction point.
And then
That's
after
not fun.
and after a while, I just stopped having people ride with me.
Do you still have
I'm
a stick
having
shift?
fun. No, my left knee just started barking as I got older, and I just when you're on Peachtree and you're just like it's too much. So I've become old man likes automatic. Although I was thinking about this, I don't know why this. I was thinking about it. I think today that because in Atlanta, I think it's in Georgia, they're going to start teaching cursive again. And I thought, well, good, because that's like muscle memory. I feel like everybody should know how to drive a stick shift.
You should, but they don't
100%.
make them anymore.
Well, here they don't. Very few cars in the U.S. are stick shifts. They're still prevalent in other countries. But the automatic is more efficient these days. We've gotten to that point.
Yeah, it used to be you had better gas mileage off the manuals, off the stick. I just feel like if the classic Friday the 13th scenario should present itself, and the only car
Friday the
has
13th?
Friday the 13th. I'm talking about like a horror movie of some kind.
Jason's chasing you.
Classic,
and you,
yeah. You're
you
being
find
you gotta
chased
get
by a
away.
car and
you got to
it's
get
a-
away.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
then
28
stick
days
shift.
later or something.
okay, whatever. I don't care.
No, 28 days later is bad because that's when the cars are abandoned on the
Yeah.
highways for
Oh,
years
yeah.
and
Yeah,
people
Friday the
drive them and
13th, you're out
take the
there-
fuel. Fuel degrades after a few months.
Yeah.
That
so,
was what bothered me about Walking Dead was that nobody seemed to talk about how the fuel is all gone. They'd find a car after 12, 13 months being out there. It's not working, guys.
So what I'm saying is that so let's say the person who drove you to the summer camp for a teenage romp they ended up being one of the first people killed by what's his name? Jason?
Jason.
Jason.
Yeah, Jesse's not a good name for a serial
Voorhees.
killer. Who's afraid of who's afraid of Jesse?
A Jesse?
Yeah, no.
Hey, y'all, I'm here to kill you.
I'm coming.
So,
Jesse, no.
and the guy who drove you there in his stick shift, he's dead, and then everybody runs, and then you're all going to be chopped up to pieces because nobody knows how to do the most basic thing in the world, which is jump into a car with a stick and drive it.
I've been teaching my wife how to drive stick shift lately, and it's a chore.
Is that a metaphor?
Wow.
It's not a metaphor.
She's a woman.
She's
Love
just.
that.
I do think that there is something to that nature. She's just a little bit scared. A little bit,
Scared.
and I'm like,
It's scary to learn how to. I wasn't taught.
Not because she's a woman.
Yeah, I had to teach myself. Did
I
you?
wasn't. No, I was.
Because
My
it's a
buddy
Jeep.
T-Shawn Shannon taught me because I had to learn because the only car I was going to have was that. And we went to at night. We went to an empty garage, 3 or 4.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
a
best
great-
place to learn because you're on an incline, whatever. But it is scary at first, especially when you're at that first red light and you're on a hill, and you just know that the car is going to roll a little bit, and your brain knows everything that's going to happen and how to do it right. And you're just so damn afraid that the car's going to slide right back into the car behind you.
In that moment when you're learning, you're wishing, I wish I had 3 legs, so that way you could put one on the brake, have one hovering over the gas, and then one over the clutch.
Well,
too.
I do, or I've been told so. But I don't. So, I don't know. But cursive, I'm glad they got the cursive back. Just because whether you use it or not, it's just muscle. It's just that brain. It's just you need to learn that. Otherwise, how are you going to read the Declaration of Independence? How are you going to read the Magna Carta?
Exactly. The founding documents.
Yes. The
I
founding
never wrote in cursive. They taught it to us. And then I ditched what they did teach us with print. You were supposed to put tails on the letters, and
Yeah.
I ditched that. Drew
No.
straight lines for a T.
I print all the time, and I've heard people say that it's a sign of not being a good person or something. I don't think that's true.
Printing?
What?
Yeah, I think
Sign
I
of a
heard
good person?
this was no. Actually, I remember, and he may have had tongue in cheek to a certain degree, but I will never forget this. I was in Florida in like 1991, and Rush Limbaugh. I was listening. The radio was on, and he said, "Don't trust any adults who print." Don't trust them. Really? And I was like, wow, I print. Just
Love
because,
me, Daddy.
just because my handwriting is so bad. My handwriting is so bad. That's why I print. Alex Williams says it's still slow through downtown.
Trying to get better out there, Eric, but it's still a brake light battle heading southbound from the 85-400 merge. Actually gets a little bit better once you get down toward North Avenue. Then the right lane slow again. Trying to get down toward I-20 through the Grady Hospital curve. 75-85 northbound stacked and packed from Highway 166, Langford Parkway, up to Freedom Parkway. Then improving once you get up into Midtown. Still seeing the impact from this rain and storms that have been moving through northwest of town. 575 both north and southbound wet pavement delays anywhere between Holly Springs and the Woodstock area. So please use caution if you run into these rain showers. How are things looking on the south side of town, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, tracking better news in Clayton County. 75 southbound at I-285, exit 238. Crash moved off to the right, and delays heading into Forest Park are improving. And this report is sponsored by John Foy & Associates Personal Injury Law Firm. If you've been in a serious crash, don't let the insurance companies rip you off. Call John Foy & Associates and get the real help you need and deserve. Get real. Get John Foy, the strong arm, today. From the Corey Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
When news breaks in Georgia.
A meteor traveling at a speed of 30,000 miles an hour.
Across the U.S.
They're probably going to have to decide the issue of birthright citizenship.
And around the world.
Israel claims Iran fired missiles after the truce began.
We've got it covered.
I had a resident who described what sounded like a gunshot coming through his house.
It's not a partisan issue. Democratic presidents don't like these things either.
There are conflicting assessments about just how badly damaged these facilities are.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
Hey, if you got weekend plans, make sure your home is ready for them. I called Wise Guys Pro Wash and boom, the house, driveway, and patio were spotless. They even cleaned the roof. I didn't even have to be home. They are truly professionals using the top equipment in the industry, and their soft washing kept my home safe and damage-free, and the results, incredible. Wise Guys has more than 2,000 five-star reviews, and I know why now. So mention me, Chris Chandler, for $70 off your next service. Book today at wiseguysprowash.com.
Insurance companies often have a basic strategy: delay, deny, defend. Some try to grind you down, but they have another tremendous weapon, a software called Colossus. They know which attorneys are great and which are not so great. They know who is likely to take the last offer and who will take them by their scalp, kicking and screaming to trial. They know that they have to pay some firms early and fairly. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. The insurance companies have done their homework. Before you hire a lawyer for your injury case, do yours. Visit forthepeople.com and see our settlements and verdicts for cases like yours. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason. When you hire the wrong firm, you may be beat before you start. All law firms are not the same. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan Atlanta, 191 Peachtree Street, Atlanta, Georgia. Dial pound law. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
First Liberty Building and Loan. They say yes to small business financing when big banks say no. It's Eric Erickson. Make a 10-minute call to First Liberty Building and Loan, and you will know if you're a fit for their program. Go to firstlibertyga.com. That's firstlibertyga.com.
Is thinning hair or receding hairline making you self-conscious? Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow by New Nordic. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or in stores at your local CVS.
Woohoo!
You threw the hardware away for the broken belt buckle.
I think I probably did. I might be able to find it. I think I probably did.
They're screws.
Oh, now it's
I
mine.
looked it up. They're screws. It could have been fixed.
Well, they're not going to fix it now because they have to provide 2 screws?
No, but I don't know why you threw them out.
I don't want to be. I'm not going to fix a belt. That seems ridiculous to me. What are you doing? What are you doing down there, honey? No problem fixing a belt.
You wouldn't even get to that point because it takes 2 seconds. Right? Wouldn't even question where you are.
If they fell out, maybe the other side fell too. I don't know.
Well,
now you're blaming it on me. You know what you're doing, sir? You are engaging in something called blaming the victim.
Well, we're also talking about the leather. It's still top-notch, high quality.
Great leather.
Yeah, so
it's
we're
fantastic.
Gonna fix this thing. We're going to fix it.
You think I should just go find just a couple of screws and just put them in there? I will check
it
out.
I'm
I don't
still
know. When it happened, I was so disappointed. I just let it fall to the floor and I walked away in tears.
I'm going to reach out for the 100-year warranty. If they say, hey, moron, you could have fixed that. They sell these screws for $3.99. I'm going to buy some.
All right.
Fix the belt.
I'll tell you what, you buy the screws, and the next time you're in town, you just come over and fix the belt.
All right.
It's on
Special
you,
trip.
pal. You gifted
I'm
it
making
to
a
me.
special trip to fix the belt.
This is going to end up costing, a Delta flight round trip. But I
Needs
think
to be done.
I like to believe I'm worth it.
Why don't you take a leather class and make your own?
Belts?
Yeah, you can make your own.
Oh, yeah, start with killing the cow?
No, you just take the leather and you make it yourself. They have them all over the place.
Well, my dad worked with leather, so that's a bad memory. For me.
Tuscadero?
Yeah, leather
Oh,
Tuscadero.
yeah.
She used to come over and make his meals for him.
You could become a girdler.
Before she got her big break.
Yeah, that one song.
What'd you say?
You could become a girdler.
A girdler?
That's a belt
That's
maker.
what he does at Piedmont.
Yeah. No, not gurgler.
No,
Autumn.
please.
Oh.
No, a girdler or a belt maker.
Well, we just learned something. Did you know that, Greg? That a belt
Word
maker is a
of the
gird?
day.
I don't do that anymore.
I'm not a girdler.
I just looked up girdler. It says maker of girdles, which I guess a belt's a type of girdle.
Oh, so I guess it's part of your trade. If you make belts, you make girdles. It's part of the whole trade.
Yeah,
you don't make
distinction.
shoes because there's another name for that.
That's
a cobbler.
And a haberdasher.
Hats and other accessories. Perhaps an ascot would be found at a haberdashery.
I found buttons at haberdasheries.
Really, did you?
I found
Were
buttons.
they nice?
They were nice.
You know, what'd be interesting to me is that you could have just said, "I found a haberdashery." I didn't know that they were so easy to find.
It was in Savannah.
Oh,
You know what a
Old
glove
South.
maker is called?
a glove maker is called a glove maker.
Close, a glover.
A glover. That's supposedly one of the few things that people think that
you're giggling about
Shakespeare's dad was a glover. He made gloves.
A Glouvier.
It should
Not
be
too
something.
fancy. Glover.
Should be something like that.
Crispin Glover.
Boy, he kind of lost it, didn't he?
No.
I guess not.
Didn't he
That
kind of
movie
lose
where he
it?
kicked
No.
his
He
shoe.
was a
at-
little nut. He tried to kick David Letterman in the face.
He was doing a promo for a film.
Yeah, but what happened to him after that? Letterman
He
got
went
pissed.
back on.
What about the
Years later.
clown?
Well, that was after that. But he went back on Letterman after that.
He's still nuts.
Well, he's not nuts.
He's not as nuts. Like I saw some interviews
all
with
an
him
act.
where
Huh?
where he wasn't so crazy.
He doesn't like the ending of Back to the Future.
He's
I know
right.
that.
We didn't like that he sued.
He
Because
sued
of Back
that
to
they
the
used
Future
him,
2.
Yeah, because they used like a mold of his face because they didn't want to deal with him because he was a pain in the ass.
Well, they
to have
also
on the set.
used a scene with him in it. He didn't get paid,
Oh, well, you can't do that.
and
Oh,
because of him, the laws were changed.
But he was.
What didn't he like about the end?
He didn't like the fact that they
They got rich.
got rich.
Yeah.
They didn't really get rich because they lived in the same crappy house. He just wrote a book.
Yeah, but the whole neighborhood was better, and like
Yeah.
the house was better, and like the mom wasn't an alcoholic and stuff.
I'm fat.
Yeah.
Fat. Yeah.
This is all in the news again. Is it because the Red Letter Media has one? They've talked about it. Is it 40th, 50th anniversary, something like
40th.
that? Yeah.
40 years ago.
Oh, they still
Marty
find it.
traveled
They still
back
love it,
30
right?
years.
I know. Like, what year did they? What in the second one? What year did they go to?
Well, they went to 2015 first, then they went back to 1955.
Yeah.
So they traveled 30 years in both directions.
Then they went to what 18.
I never saw the third one.
I loved the third one.
I do too.
I know you're not supposed to have loved it, but I loved it.
Well, how old were you when you saw it?
I had probably the age it came out.
30.
Whatever that was.
A lady never tells how
Well, I
old
just
she
don't
was
remember
when she saw Back to the Future Part 3.
That is a line too far.
I understand. I stepped over it. I apologize. Alex Williams says rain is impacting the ride on 575 in Cherokee County.
Yeah, watched a few heavy downpours on 575, especially around 6's road exit 11. Cars are definitely slowing down as seeing the water slosh up around the pavement there. 575 north and southbound. Also seeing the impact where not raining as heavy anymore, but it definitely was in the Woodstock area around Town Lake Parkway and Highway 92. Looks like the earlier crash we had leaving Dorville heading up toward Norcross, 85 northbound, leaving 285 near Pleasantdale Road has cleared out of the roadway. What are we looking at on I-20 through DeKalb County, Kobe Dawkins?
Seeing you tapping the brakes 20 eastbound as you leave I-285, getting past Panola Road, and westbound rides you're slow, leaving Stonecrest, getting getting to the perimeter. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any H system maker or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or Canada Dry. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Belinda Skelton here for Atlanta Vision Institute, and I have Stephanie with me. She's a patient of Dr. Ashraf, and Stephanie recently had the laser optics procedure. Stephanie, why did you have the laser optics procedure?
I wanted to be able to not ever use reading glasses again because I got tired of pulling my phone out of my purse when I forgot them to blow things up, and I just wanted to see.
And how was life after laser optics procedure at Atlanta Vision Institute?
Incredible. I could read the bottom of a nail polish bottle. I don't need my readers, never used them since I've had my laser optics procedure. It's been amazing.
What would you say to people who are on the fence about having the procedure?
Do you want to see?
That says it all, folks. Folks, if you want to see like Stephanie, go to 2020atlanta.com. That's 2020atlanta.com.
Market volatility isn't slowing down. If you're nearing retirement, now is not the time to wait and see. Every day of uncertainty can put your future at risk. It's time to diversify. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I want you to know you can create certainty, locking in guaranteed income for life. This means predictable, stable cash flow, even in turbulent times. You've worked too hard to leave your retirement to chance. Right now, there are options to receive up to 30% upfront or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. That's up to $30,000 upfront or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't wait. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Any examples provided are hypothetical. Annuities are issued with prospectus and sales brochures and should be reviewed carefully before funding as features and benefits vary. DBA in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Take your summer celebration to the next level with a Bullfrog hot tub from Brown's Pools and Spas. Entertain and enjoy your yard with your family like never before. Only Bullfrog offers the Jetpack Therapy System, allowing you to customize each seat to fit every body in your family. Shop our Independence Day hot tub sale now. Instant rebates up to $1,500 or special financing for up to 120 months. Offer ends July 7th. Celebrating over 50 years of BrownsPools.com.
Tomorrow on the Nightcap with Jerry Yamamoto, I know a record number of Georgians will be traveling next week for the 4th of July. With that, the cost of travel and the average cookout cost has skyrocketed. This is ridiculous. I'll share some of the hacks and tips I've seen to keep that cost down and cover the latest news of the night tomorrow night from 11 to midnight on my Nightcap. Brought to you by Guardian Home Experts, Heating, Air, and Plumbing.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and
At
Talk.
6:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio, news sponsored by Mark Spain Real Estate. Our top local story, strong storms hitting parts of the North Metro at this hour.
In the WSB Storm Center, I'm Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz. Scattered strong storms this evening with locally heavy rain, some hail embedded, and some strong wind gusts. Could take down trees, tree limbs, power lines. Those showers and storms moving slowly, generally drifting to the north.
And there are severe thunderstorm warnings now in effect in Cherokee, North Fulton, Forsyth, and northern Gwinnett counties, as well as southern Bartow counties. Right now, it is 91 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. Will you be dodging more storms this weekend? Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. President Trump celebrating a ruling from the U.S. Supreme Court today on his effort to stop birthright citizenship. In a 6-3 decision, the court decides district judges do not have the ability to issue nationwide injunctions injunctions. Local immigration advocate Jerry Gonzalez has this reaction.
Unfortunately, I think this is a horrible decision by the Supreme Court.
The ruling was not on Trump's executive order itself, but Gonzalez says it does leave the door open to allowing the administration to end birthright citizenship. The Supreme Court sides with parents who say they should be able to opt their children out from lessons involving LGBTQ-themed books.
This is a tremendous victory for parents.
President Trump praises that 6-3 decision. The court says a Maryland school board decision to not allow for parents to opt their children out of lessons involving the books violates their religious rights. President Trump gets tough on Canada with tariffs.
President Trump says he is immediately suspending trade talks with Canada over plans to tax U.S. technology firms through what is known as a digital services fee. The president calls this, quote, a direct and blatant attack on our country. Canada's tax is set to take effect on Monday. It would impose a 3% levy on companies like Amazon, Google, and Airbnb, and would apply retroactively.
CBS's Linda Kenyon reports the president calls Canada a very difficult country to trade with. Now, WSB Money Update, and despite Trump's tariff announcement today, stocks cap a record-breaking week on Wall Street, but the S&P and NASDAQ hit all-time highs. The Dow today closing up 432 points. A new report on the levels of dangerous chemicals in waterways across 19 states, including here in Georgia.
The study took samples upstream and downstream on the Chattahoochee River, and the conclusion was clear.
These chemicals are everywhere.
Chattahoochee Riverkeeper Executive Director Jason Alseth says the study was done in partnership with the Waterkeeper Alliance, which found the dangerous compounds present in 98% of the waterways they tested. These chemicals have been linked to negative health effects.
What we've learned is that they are actually carcinogens.
The report recommends more enforcement of drinking water standards and calls for more monitoring and treatment of waterways. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta police investigate a scary home invasion where a man ties up a woman and steals her jewelry.
The woman was returning home to her apartment on Wells Street near Northside Drive when a masked man barged into her apartment. The Atlanta Police Department says he used zip ties to tie her hands and ankles, then proceeded to steal her jewelry and a camera. He fled from the scene, and police are continuing to search for him. They're asking anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers. The victim wasn't injured, and police haven't released an estimated value for the stolen items. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
Your next Uber Eats order may be delivered by a robot. The delivery company says it's partnering with Serve Robotics to offer the service at select restaurants in Midtown, Old Fourth Ward, and downtown Atlanta. Participating restaurants include Real Tacos, Ponco Chicken, and Shake Shack, among others. It is now 6:34, and it's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple Team Traffic starts with Alex Williams.
Watching the brake lights on the southeast leg of the perimeter where we've had some weather come through. Also had a tree come down, but it looks like they've cleared it on the 285 westbound inner loop ramp to I-675 exit 52. So where the ride had gotten better from an earlier crash, and now that. It's still slow back at Flat Shoals, but hang in there. No need for an alternate. That ride is going to start to improve there. On the north side perimeter, 285 westbound, the outer loop still seeing some brake lights. If you're making the late trek over to the Braves game, you're slow from Ashford Dunwoody Road, passing Roswell Road. Then it gets much better as you approach I-75 and the Truist Park region. 285 northbound, the inner loop tap in the brakes on the west side from South Cobb Drive up to Cobb Parkway. How are things through downtown Atlanta this afternoon, Kobe Dawkins?
Well, slow rides remain. 75-85 north starting at Langford Parkway, getting past Peachtree, Pine Street. 85 southbound leaving the Buckhead area. Those delays begin at the Georgia 400 merge, getting to I-20. From the Corey Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz.
Scattered storms into the evening, drying up overnight, and Saturday morning starts at 72. Afternoon storms and 90 degrees on Saturday, and about the same Sunday. We'll hit 91 with dry hours early and scattered showers and storms developing. For Monday, low 73, high 91, mostly cloudy with afternoon storms again. And my 5-day forecast for Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday likely to have the most widespread wet weather. Put that rain chance up at 80%, high 87. And then Wednesday, scattered storms, 60% chance of rain, high 88.
Severe thunderstorm warnings in effect right now. That includes the North Fulton, North Gwinnett areas, as well as Cherokee County and into Forsyth County. Also, southern Bartow County, severe thunderstorm warning. Right now, it's 84 in in Dunwoody, 91 Midtown Atlanta, 89 in Noonan. More news at 7 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Dad, one more horsey ride, please.
This living room rodeo moment made possible by Emory Orthopedics and Spine Center. When Dad needed back surgery, he came to Emory. The difference? Emory's among the highest in patient satisfaction and best surgical outcome rates in the nation. And Emory uses the most advanced research developed by our top surgeons to get Dad's back surgery done right the first time. Giddy up. EmoryHealthcare.org/orthodifference.
Oh, popsicle drips, muddy shoes, and summertime messes, don't let them take over your home. Call Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Zerorez uses their ZR water technology, no dirt-attracting soaps, no harsh chemicals, just a truly clean, healthy home. Right now, take advantage of their summer sale. Get 15% off all services, that is carpets, air ducts, rugs, tile, and more, all 15% off. Just mention Chris Chandler or book now at ZerorezAtlanta.com, and yeah, they do commercial cleaning too. Zerorez, all they leave is clean.
This is Jonathan Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, Atlanta's engagement ring and wedding band destination since 1939. Why? Easy. Hand-picked diamonds that just shine brighter at a value that can't be beat. An unbelievable selection of engagement rings and wedding bands, from classic to modern to off the wall, because hey, you like what you like. And because we've been jewelers for generations, we can bring your dream ring to life with full custom abilities. If you're getting engaged, we make shopping for diamonds easy with Atlanta's best staff of trained gemologists. Tell us what matters to you, and we'll work together to get you the best value. We're a small family-owned business. We live here. We want you to like us. Already engaged? Congrats, you found your perfect match. Time for your ring to find its perfect match. Just bring yourself, your partner, stack them up, and try as many wedding band looks as you can dream up. Make it personal with touches like birthstones and engraving. So when it's time for the next chapter, come see Atlanta's most trusted jeweler since 1939, D. Geller & Son, in Kennesaw and Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
All right, before we get to George Clark's new business of showering the homeless, I do have to ask you, Greg, this Zohan the socialist in New York City, I'm predicting right now he's not going to win.
I don't know. Because Cuomo said today he's going to run. So you have Cuomo, Adams.
Adams is in.
Mamdani, and Sliwa, and some other guy that nobody cares about.
So you think they could all split it up, and then you'll have the...
I think Adams and Cuomo will split, paving a way for Mamdani to take office. I heard you mention this yesterday. I meant to bring it up, too. I'll just repeat it again, though, because I do think it's funny. He's there for the working class people, for the poor people, and rich white people are the people who voted him.
Exactly. Wealthy.
Or voted him, gave him the primary.
And also, beyond that, it's always the same thing. You know, he and his wife are like trust fund kids who are going to save the poor. You know, they never wanted for anything. Which is fine. And he comes from a family of academics, so he's been raised in this, nonsense. But and by the way, again, I will say, I understand why someone like this is rising, because capitalism is not working for people. You know, I have this thing where a maxim, which is that the bad governance leads to extremes. If you I always bring this up about the border. Since the mid-'90s, people down in the border states have been saying, hey, can somebody come help us down here? This is getting out of control. Everybody ignored it. It was ignored. No. And then so somebody comes along, hey, I'm going to build a wall. I'm going to send people to South Sudan. Hey, fine. Somebody's listening. Somebody's responding. And when it's impossible to afford anything, guess what? Most people didn't go to Wharton. They'll start listening to the guy who says, I'll give you free bus rides. So...
Also, on top of that, all the politicians are so old. You have somebody come in who's young. It's like, let's finally turn this thing over and get new people in.
Here's the problem. He's apparently in favor of defunding the police.
Now, he backed off of it a bit, but yes, that was his stance.
Okay. So now, is this something like back in the George Floyd stuff? That's when he was saying it, when everybody else was saying it?
That's when he was saying it. His new stance is more, we need, he does want
he wants to send social workers
support. And he wants to reform community policing, which I do buy into. If you're going to be a cop that works in a neighborhood, it's probably good to know the people who live there.
Sure, but if you don't feel that the neighborhood is safe enough for your wife and kids, you're just going to choose to be a cop somewhere else. So, that's the problem with these socialist ideas. And also, who is the social worker who wants to go with the cops to, in the middle of some sort of gang dispute?
Here, hand me that gun and here's a pillow.
Yeah, like that. Hey, I brought pillows. I thought maybe you guys might want to get this out.
Right, he gets to hit first.
Yeah.
Encourage them to tickle fight.
That's right.
Tickle fight, exactly.
But can you imagine I'm just saying, you could run commercials about defund the police. Can you imagine 3 nights in New York City without a police department? Just 3 nights.
Especially in the summer. Well, that's when it gets really bad because it's so hot and people are out.
Yeah.
And all the people committing crimes have no shirts on.
So, that's because they
You'd find them easier.
Easy to identify, exactly.
They're on the other team. They're on skins, shirts and skins. That's what we used to do when we played basketball when I was a kid. Shirts and skins.
It's going to end up being like New York in the mid-'70s is what people are saying.
Well, it's not, because I think that whoever is running, now you're right, you've got a lot of people, somebody needs to drop out and clear the way. Now, what do you think?
Too many egos.
You
They're
think
not gonna
Cuomo?
do it.
You think Cuomo's stronger than Adams? Do people just hate Adams and think he's corrupt?
Yes. But they also don't like Cuomo. No one likes Cuomo.
And Sliwa doesn't stand a chance. He's a 90-year-old wearing a beret.
Yeah. But he likes animals.
Okay, I'm not saying he's a total.
I'm not doing nothing.
Giuliani, you are doing something. You're in the Trump administration now.
If they wanted me back in New York, which I did a pretty good job, if you ask me.
America's mayor.
You were back then when you were sane.
Yeah, I'm still saying that.
Okay.
Free cigars for everybody that votes for me.
Didn't he just get into the Homeland Security or something?
Make good job. Thanks, Trump. I got to pay my bills. Those ladies
That's
took
right.
all my money.
He owes you. He owes you
Watches.
something. Yeah, you lost your favorite baseball card.
Kept my Mercedes.
Yes, you did. You can drive to Homeland Security now.
In Eric Adams's, re-election speech yesterday, I mean, he really took a different turn. He kind of, the way he sounded yesterday sounded almost like the Republican angle.
Well, that's what he is, because he was a cop. Do you have any of him?
Got a little bit right here. Let's listen to this.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, this is
This
is not a city where you use idealism to state you're giving everything to everyone for free. There's no dignity in someone giving you everything for free. There's dignity in giving you a job so you can provide for your family and the opportunities that you deserve.
It's a part of me. I know you do live there, and part of me wants to see this guy win, because I like to see these things. I believe that these ideas don't work. I'd like to watch them not work or be surprised when they do.
Well, de Blasio was somewhat like this, and just nothing happened.
Yeah.
So do we want that again? But at the same time, being mayor of New York, you need the state to approve a lot of things, and Cuomo just hated de Blasio. He hated him.
Did that hurt him this time around? Because did people remember that he was kind of at war? I know he thought with a mayor that was unpopular, but did people perceive that as, hey, when you were governor, you just were kind of at war with the city? Did that hurt at all?
It probably weighed in. People don't have favorable views of Cuomo. He built a new bridge, but he named it after his dad in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
People like the Tappan Zee Bridge. Now it's the Mario Cuomo Bridge.
Well, he was quite a figure, but maybe you run that through a city council or something and let the public decide.
He would just do the things he wanted to do, and he acted like this was owed to him, and that you could tell. It read. You're like, okay, Cuomo just thinks he's going to come in. It's just his.
Yeah, he was entitled.
He didn't try. He barely even tried.
So now that Zohan, the socialist, has won the Democrat primary for the mayoral race in New York City, there's some national Democrats like, maybe AOC should run for president.
Yeah, 2028.
Maybe the dawn of. But the problem for her is that this guy's stuff is going to fail so bad before we get to 2028. 2028. That it will be a drag on her if she tries to run, probably.
Doesn't the city council have to approve all that stuff? And are they as liberal as he is?
Not only
the
that,
state
but
government
state
has
government.
to approve a lot of the stuff. And the rest of the country isn't New York City. I don't know if they have an appetite for it. And even in New York City, who vote? How many people? Like, not even a million people voted.
Not even a million people voted. So we don't really know what his greater appeal is in the city. I mean, he's got every college student. Okay, he's got that. That's for sure. But do they show up? That's another thing about.
I think they will
voting.
show up. He got them to show up for the primary. That's what happened.
Yeah.
A lot of people who had never voted before in a primary showed up.
That's how AOC ended up.
That's how AOC went,
AOC
too.
did the exact same
but
thing.
She's
she got
done
people to vote
nothing
in the
for
primary.
8 years or 6 years or however long. She's done nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, I've done a lot, actually.
Yeah, what? What have you done? There's
I do a lot of talking to men in Congress
Yeah.
that think that they can talk over me and have something interesting to say, which they don't.
Okay, but what does that do for your constituents?
It does a lot, actually.
Yeah. You told Jeff Bezos off and he couldn't open a new Amazon thing when you first got there. So that's what, like 1,000 jobs that your constituents didn't get?
That wasn't my fault.
No, you did it. You said, get out of here. And he left.
Yeah, but that
Well,
you think I'm so powerful? Like I could make that happen? I just
He was a little
was
baby. He was a baby about that. Remember how all the cities were groveling, please,
Oh, yeah,
Bezos,
yes,
please. And when he picked New York and people weren't really excited about it, he just picked up and went home.
Well, it is jobs. Maybe not in the future. Maybe jobs that AI will be taking away now.
You can fix the
robots and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, remember this, kids. Somebody is going to have to fix the robots.
Give me that Allen wrench. Let's go.
Alex Williams says it's raining downtown, and I imagine this has something to do. He's not our weather person, so this is affecting the traffic.
Alex Williams is talented.
I don't understand. I imagine this is having some sort of effect on the traffic.
We wear many hats in here, Eric. We are seeing the brake lights where it has been raining. I see it on the jam cam right now, right around Grady Hospital, and that's keeping 75, 85 northbound slow, leaving Highway 166 as you try to make that trek up past Peachtree, Pine Street. Southbound still slow from the 85-400 merge where it hasn't quite rained yet, but you're driving straight towards it as you make your way past 17th Street down toward I-20. Also still seeing some brake lights on 285 into Cobb County. Kobe Dawkins.
Yeah, 285 south and west, brake lights stretching from I-20 getting past Flat Shoals Road, and 285 northbound also on the brakes starting at Flat Shoals Road getting into Clarkston. And this report is sponsored by Georgia Commute Options. With Georgia Commute Options, you can get more out of every mile, earn prizes, gift cards, and other cool deals when you switch from driving alone to a cleaner trip. More at mygco.com. From the Cool Carrier Traffic Center, Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
You're by the pool.
You're relaxing.
You're sipping a drink.
Someone brings you a towel.
Adjust the umbrella.
Sound like a fantasy?
It's not if you win $1,000 from WSB.
It's WSB's $1,000 Thursdays next Thursday.
Listen for the keyword at 9, 10, and 11 a.m. and 12, 1, 2, and 3 p.m.
Enter the keyword at WSBradio.com or the WSB app within that hour, and you could win $1,000. Get all the info at WSBradio.com.
$1,000 Thursdays
from 95.5 WSB.
Where Atlanta wins.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
It's officially time for Zero Res's annual summer sale. Take advantage and get 15% off all cleaning services. Mention Chris Chandler to secure this deal today or book online at ZeroResAtlanta.com. Zero Res. All they leave is clean.
Buying a car shouldn't be a mystery. Hi, I'm Stacey Ellis, Vice President of the Jim Ellis Automotive Group. At Jim Ellis, we believe in complete transparency because you deserve to know exactly what you're getting. That's why we show you all the numbers, no hidden fees, no surprises. We explain every option clearly so you can make the right decision with confidence. And if you ever have questions, we have answers. Our team is here to guide you, making sure you're informed and in control every step of the way. At Jim Ellis Automotive, we don't want to sell you just any car. We want to help you buy the right car, because doing the right thing for you is what matters most to us. Experience car buying the way it should be. Honest, straightforward, and built around you. And don't forget, Jim Ellis buys cars too. It's the safe and easy way to get maximum value for your car. To get started, visit one of our 21 convenient locations across Metro Atlanta or shop online at jimellis.com. The quick, easy, and convenient way to search and compare more than 5,500 cars, trucks, and SUVs. Jim Ellis Automotive, where you can always expect the best.
The guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate's the easiest way to sell your home. You can save time, make the most money, and eliminate the hassle this summer. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Ghost Skeletor World Tour 2025. Ghost Theatrical Heavy Metal Arena Rock. Friday, July 11th, State Farm Arena. Tickets on sale now at LiveNation.com. Don't miss Ghost.
Greg is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Hi, I'm Greg. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. 8 years ago, I just didn't feel like I was on my game. I started taking Prevagen, and I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
The cost of mesothelioma treatments can exceed $400,000, and families often face losing their homes and life savings just to pay the bill. The Rights and Claims Department of Flint Cooper has helped victims secure financial support they need to pay for their care and ensure their family's future. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma and don't have legal representation, call Flint Cooper now at 800-606-8169. Time is running out for you to file a claim, so don't wait. Call 800-606-8169 for a free consultation.
All right, George Clark.
Was he white with dreads? That's the question.
No, he was not.
Okay.
All right, so we have to go back to the beginning here, and as my program director would tell me, to reset the topic.
Yeah, do that.
So we were talking about homeless, and you said that one time you're at a skate park, and this homeless person's like, I haven't had a shower in forever. I really need one. And you were kind enough to allow that homeless person come back to your place.
He's a young guy,
and
younger
shower.
than I was at the time, and this was a few years ago, and he had been on the streets not for a year, but maybe weeks or so.
Okay.
And
So again, to go back to Greg, was this a kid rebelling against his rich parents, or was this?
No, I think he maybe grew up in maybe rough means.
Okay.
And
all right. Now here's my question, and I'm sure others may have questions.
Did
but my
he use
question,
the toilet?
Okay, you wait your turn.
That was my question.
Of course,
I thought
he
that was
did.
your question, Eric. Sorry.
No, my question is, the shower has happened. Comes out of the shower. There's that moment. Like, do we have dinner? What is that area between the shower's over and I'm going back out onto the streets where I live?
I think I actually gave him some clothes, and I think I was a little offended at one point because I think he wasn't into the clothes I gave him.
Whoa! This is why the guy's homeless.
No, but I don't think it was like a big deal, but I could tell, like, it's just weird. Like,
What, you gave him like a couple of shirts or something?
I think I just gave him a shirt and some pants.
I don't like Alex Jones, bro.
But I did kind of quickly push him to get dropped back off at the skate park and.
So you drove him back to the skate park?
Yeah, that's
you
right.
didn't just push him out the out
Did
the
you
door.
keep the towel or did you throw it away?
No, I think I let him keep everything.
Yeah. Take the towel.
Take the soap, take the towel, take all that.
Oh,
He's
so
the most Christ-like out of all of us.
He is. He is. I've always said that about George Clark.
Yes.
I wash people's feet.
Yeah, who cares? So,
Were they lepers or anything cool?
No, come on.
Ah,
I'll catch that.
Are there still
Hey, there was the time I went to that park in the middle of downtown Atlanta that I can't remember the name of. It starts with a G. It was
Good Park?
Christmas.
Graceland?
Why was that so funny?
Grant Park?
Yeah, maybe it was. No,
Could
no,
be.
Grant's in the.
Talking about the one by Georgia
By the
State?
zoo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Doesn't
with
matter.
the rats in the bushes.
It was
Go-Go
Christmas
Park.
Day. I had a sack of clothes. I was like Santa. I went down, and the fights broke out. I was trying to do a good deed, and then
Right.
everyone started fighting each other. For
you
the
have
clothes that
Jenkos
I
or
did
something?
bring.
That's what.
There were. This was the time I was getting rid of all.
Were you getting rid of the Jenkos?
Two people can
I
wear them.
was. I was hoping to see that person one day on the street.
You're lucky they didn't beat you up. Showing
No,
up
they
in
were
Jenkos.
excited. They were excited. You can layer those very easily, so when it's cold, because you can put 16 pairs of pants under the Jenkins.
I remember he was glorifying being like he thought he was going to make it, and people that spent time on the streets, they went on to make it.
Was he a rapper or
No,
something?
he was-
and trying to
he
get
was-
credibility?
I think he was trying to be a professional skateboarder, actually.
Oh. That's
Yeah, well,
appropriate.
listen, I think most professional skateboarders, you need a good shower every couple of days.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and thanks to George, he got one.
Yeah, but how long ago was that?
Years.
Last shower he ever had?
But if you picked him up at Fourth Ward Skate Park, I mean, there are good skateboarders over there. So
Yeah, no, he was good. I remember.
You know what he wasn't good at?
around.
Finding a home.
Really bad at home.
Yeah,
really
but very
good at skateboarding.
Really good at skateboarding.
Well, I asked about the toilet quickly because if
Yeah.
he used
I
heroin.
think he did use the toilet. No, he
If
didn't
used
use
heroin.
He wasn't.
and-
He wasn't a drug addict. I made sure that was not a
Okay,
factor.
well, if he had been
drugs?
and he used the toilet for the first time in weeks, it could
Yeah.
have ruined it forever.
That's what Autumn's right. Was it, do you do drugs? No. Okay.
No.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Hop in. All right. Guess what? Guess who's coming up next? Jared Yamamoto, all alone. No
left
Tim
me.
Andrews.
Tim left me tonight.
Yeah, no Autumn Fisher, no Greg Russ, no George Clark. It's just Jared Yamamoto. Solo Moto is next. That music is telling us two things: shut the hell up and get the hell out. And we do what we're told. Enjoy Jared Yamamoto, the Solo Moto. And then have a great weekend. And then Monday at 3 p.m. we'll be here. You're all invited to join us, but until then, continue on your journey. Don't piss off the genie.